Hi, welcome back to Legend of Corncast. We have a full house here.
Yes, we do.
It's too many people. Oh, of course, now you're all gonna be fucking quiet.
Well, because you guys
We have a new
speak
guest
first.
this time, though. We have a new guest making his debut.
Oh, well, I guess on the relaunch of Cornucopia Realm, but
The third
he was one of the originals of We Video Gamers.
Oh, yeah,
We don't talk about we video gamers anymore. They're dead and buried.
He was what killed. He was like one of the reasons what killed the Mario Gauntlet.
And I'm gonna kill this.
Hootenanny.
We didn't even go to the Hootenanny stage. Anyway, we're here to talk about a Zelda game that came out after, what, 6 years, something like that? I don't know.
Took him 6 years to make. Still don't believe it.
I'm glad.
I don't know why you guys are so shocked by this.
I'm not shocked, I'm just saying. It was 6 years ago that we got the last Zelda game.
I'm just glad
And
they took their time.
And it's been a year since we've done a Corncast. I thought we were dead.
Yeah.
But we're not. We're here to talk about... Fuck, what's your shirt say? Tears of the Kingdom. There we go.
No pun intended, but every
James,
now and then we come back and rise from the depths.
James like, you guys are all quiet, and James like, shit, what the fuck game are we talking about?
Okay, so...
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
why would you get fined?
Who's gonna find you?
Ooh.
You played the game.
No.
You have a right to be here.
You know, I don't remember how these go anymore.
I mean, I have ideas on how we can structure this, but it's
Oh,
not
by the
my
way,
best.
spoilers. There's going to be a whole bunch of spoilers. If you don't want to hear about it, that's too bad. That's not for you guys. That's not a warning to you guys, because I know neither one of you care.
Yeah, I never beat it.
This is for the 4 people who are going to watch this afterwards.
Wait, you two didn't beat it?
No.
I'm still playing.
Okay.
I watched the...
Aaron, it's a goddamn Zelda game. He puts the sword in Ganondorf's face, and Zelda stops being a dragon. We all know how this is going to go.
The devil's in the details.
There's
God damn,
no
I can't believe
twist.
you know the ending of Tears of the Kingdom.
It's the same ending over and over again.
It kind of is.
It's funny because Jacob's like,
Man, I
So-
can't believe Mario beat Bowser again. Ah, what a shocker.
Okay, to be fair, every Mario game ends the exact goddamn
No, they
same.
don't.
Except for Mario 2, but that's because it wasn't really a Mario game. Anyway,
I was just going to say, Jacob's like, are you going to beat Tears of the Kingdom? I said, probably not.
Aaron doesn't
And he's
play video
like,
games.
Aaron
buys video games.
That's true. I spend most of my time on Fortnite, so you can't really beat Fortnite. Oh, yeah.
oh yeah, no, I'm atrocious at beating video games. I went on a tear though.
You beat Tears of the Kingdom, though.
Well, of course I beat Tears of the Kingdom. Are you kidding me?
To be fair, I didn't think you were going to beat it.
Oh, dude,
I
I beat
thought you
Breath
were
of the
gonna-
Wild.
I didn't think that you weren't going to give up, but I thought there was going to be some game that came along and you were like,
Oh, trust
Yeah.
me, I knew. I could feel it when it's like, okay, it's starting to lose. Goofing off is starting to lose its luster. Time to do some story. Okay,
Remember
doing
when
the
we-
story starting to lose its luster. Time to goof off.
remember we said there's going to be spoilers and then we continued not to talk about the game at all?
Well, we're getting there. We got to do this.
Sorry, I
weird,
just wanted to...
we got to do this weird little preamble
But no, Tears. One of the
because none of
strengths.
us know how to do this anymore.
But regardless, Tears of the Kingdom has a great structure because it allows you to flip between like, I want to do the story and I want to goof the fuck off. And for once, well, not for once, but in this game, the story is actually good
Yeah,
And-
it's fine.
and not piecemeal.
You're using really strong words like good.
It's better than Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild didn't have a story. They're like, there's a Ganon over there. You gotta get him or
Josh,
something.
we agree. Oh my god.
It also has an incredibly long tutorial and a deceptively long tutorial because a certain one of us here didn't realize he didn't do part of it because it wasn't clear that it was part of it.
Who's
Wait,
that?
what?
You,
Was it me?
when
Oh.
you missed you didn't get the glider for the longest time.
Oh, that's 'cause the
and
glider-
that's not your fault.
No, I know,
That's
I know,
the
I know.
game's fault.
I know.
It was the game's fault. I
It
did the
wasn't part of the
entirety.
tutorial.
I
It's
did
technically
every
part of the tutorial.
shrine.
No, the
Because-
tutorial was the sky.
Yeah.
No. But,
And then they're like, "Here's Hyrule. Go."
Yeah, go kick
Go
an ass.
around.
Or
but are they
whatever.
really? But you can't activate any of the towers until you do one of the main missions.
Well,
as
it's the
far as I'm
towerless
concerned,
run. We're not doing any towers this run.
that would be hilarious.
Maybe they should have had you land in Lookout Landing instead of like a mile away.
Okay, if someone actually played this game without tower
Somebody
maps, you're insane. But
I'm sure there's people who've gone straight to Ganon.
I guarantee there's
Wouldn't
somebody played it on
recommend it.
Banana.
That's a bad idea.
No,
can you?
Yes.
you can in this game, and it's a much more worse of an idea than it was in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
So what the hell happens? You don't have any sages.
You gotta fight all the bosses
You
again,
get to fight all the bosses by yourself.
and they don't help you against Ganondorf. Which, to be fair,
Why would
they're-
the
they're-
bosses help you against Ganondorf? That doesn't make any
I'm talking
No,
about the
the
sages.
sages.
And the sages aren't much of a help anyway.
No, they're really not.
Yeah, By the time they get there, they're already knocked out.
Can I tell you a funny story about the glider? Just going back there real quick. So I didn't know the glider. I knew the glider was in the game. I just didn't know where you got it. So I was running around and I found this tree trunk. And if you go down this tree trunk, there's water, but there's a bunch of roots that go across it. So I spent about 15 minutes just like trying to aim myself down into water because I'm like, I don't know what this glider is. And I think that's when I texted you guys. I'm like, I wish this game would, tell you where to get the glider and stuff. And it feels like, yeah, you just gotta do the story mission. I'm like, what story mission? There's no story mission that tells me to
There's
go
like
get
6.
Well, you were already doing. You said you were doing the Dragon's Tears. I was like, oh, and I. That's funny because that actually helped me put together when I was like, where the fuck is the Master Sword? And you guys start dropping hints. I'm like, okay, I know what to do because I know the other thing I need to do.
Yeah, we had to be real subtle with that because we're like, it's in the game's title.
And then you started posting crying.
And then you look at the box, you're like, oh, I see it. It's in the Z.
Well, yeah, because it's in there, and it has, like... I didn't think the Master Sword was going to get fixed. I actually thought that they were just going to give it an energy blade like all the rest of the Zonai shit. Because that's what it looks like in the title.
To be fair, the Master Sword looks cool as shit in the title. I hate how they did that, and then they just, like...
So what am I looking at here?
It's in
Look
the
at the
Z.
sword.
Well, yeah.
We said the Master Sword is in the title. And it's in the
It's
logo.
literally in...
Oh, but you're not saying it's not telling you where it's at.
Yeah, but what I was referring to was the fact that it's called Tears of the Kingdom, and you get the Master Sword for doing the Tears side quest.
Yeah.
Oh, so is that their spoiler?
I think so.
That they're talking about? Because nobody on any podcast knows about it.
Pretty sure it's a play on words.
Yeah, when they say tears, they're referring to multiple things. They're referring to...
I think... Are you talking about when they didn't reveal the title? They're like, well, we can't tell you the title yet because it might have spoilers.
Yeah, and then every podcast is like, I don't know what the...
I'm pretty sure it's because they hadn't written the title yet. They were like, oh shit, what are we going to call this? Oh god.
They probably had a bad title that was like Zelda the Noodle Dragon, and they're like, we
Banana.
can't put that.
Banana Dragon.
Well, you did hear about when the queen died, and then
That was funny.
They announced that the...
We
the
can't
title
reveal
of
this the day she died.
Oh, yeah.
That's not very good.
Yeah.
Then our sales in the UK are going to be bad.
Maybe we'll hold off a little bit until What's-His-Face gets his coronation. Then we'll reveal it. We don't care.
Yeah.
That's when the real tears come.
I mean...
To be fair, I think it's a good title.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, it's great.
I think it's better than Breath of the Wild.
I miss them naming the title after the item of the game.
Well, they're...
Didn't they only do that once?
Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, The Wind Waker.
Majora's Mask isn't an item you get, though.
It's still the item of the game.
Maybe you didn't
Well,
get
It's not an item you get.
Maybe you didn't get it.
Yeah,
You get Majora's Mask as an item in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, but that's...
And
The Phantom Hourglass, the Spirit Tracks.
Okay, you do get
But
the
Spirit
you do
Tracks
get the
is-
Phantom
Spirit Tracks an
Hourglass
item, or is that a concept?
in Phantom Hourglass.
You do get them.
Because I never played Spirit Tracks, because you were like, DS game style only, and I was like, nope.
Yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and call me when that's not an idea? So the
That wasn't-
best part about the Master Sword in this game is that I can make it better.
Yeah,
It's sort of slaying ultimate evil, but what if it had a big spike ball on the end?
Oh, yeah.
No, what if it had grinders on the end? you
Yeah,
know?
like, oh, this sword slays evil. But it'd be pretty cool if it had
What
like
if I-
a rocket on it, and I'd be like, Gah!
What if I put some meat on it?
Finally, someone's talking sense.
Put a fucking
Yeah,
seal statue on it.
Good thing I'm carrying 36 raw meat in my pocket right now.
Ganondorf doesn't stand a chance.
Every time I got attacked by a monster wielding a sword with a mushroom on it, I was just like, what are you doing?
I think like, so you know how there's like environmental mushrooms? I think those do have environmental effects when you put them on weapons. I haven't tried it, but I'm guessing they do. Like, you know how there's like a zap shroom and like a chill
the
shroom?
elemental ones? Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm thinking those do have
I
those
just
same
found a whole
effects.
bunch of those springy shrooms or whatever. The bouncy
Yeah.
shrooms. And I'm like, why? Does this make them go farther when I hit them? I don't want that.
Yeah.
I want them to ragdoll closer to me so I can continue hitting them.
Well, what if you hit them off the edge? Or under the water? Monsters
Well, but
can't
that-
swim.
Some of
Yeah,
them
but-
can.
But then you have to go and
Zolkos.
collect the monster parts, and that's just a pain in the ass.
Robots can't swim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Robots die instantly in water.
Sick.
What was your favorite dungeon? Or not dungeon?
You know, I was actually going to bring that up. I'm like, what was your dungeon order? And then,
Right now, of the 2 I've done, the Wind Temple was really good, and everything about the Water Temple sucked absolute cock.
True. I think we all agree the Water Temple
every
was bad.
aspect of, like, from getting there to the part where, like, all right, well, now you're in the slippery dungeon. I was like, well, don't do that. Hey, how about we not?
Did we all beat it in 10 minutes? Because I did.
Yeah.
Were we timing ourselves?
I mean, I wasn't
timing myself, but I looked at the time. It was 6 o'clock.
Okay, did you
I got
guys,
to Muktarok. It was 6:15.
Did you guys successfully do... Because there's the 4, like, wheels that you gotta hit. Did you guys successfully do the one that's spinning really fast correctly, or did you just shoot arrows at it until you happened to hit the target? Because I just shot arrows at it until I hit the target.
See, I
slowed it down.
I was gonna try to lodge some things into it to stop it.
I also had that idea.
And then they got thrown off the cliff, and I'm like, well, blow time.
Yeah, no, I jumped off a cliff, slowed down, and just waited, shot it. I was like, that was fun. Yeah, no, the Water Temple felt incomplete.
It was really bad. It set a poor start for me, because I went to the Water Temple first. I was like, I'm just gonna follow my same Breath of the Wild route, and that was a mistake.
Yeah, I did the Rito first because birds and
Birds.
the Wind Temple for me was mid, like the temple itself.
I liked the concepts in it of like the bouncing off the sails and.
Oh,
I liked that.
Getting to the temple was awesome. In my opinion, using the actual space around the temple as what felt like kind of part of the temple, I think was really strong. It was just the temples themselves I felt were basically on Breath of the Wild's level of like kind of weak.
You guys can disagree with me, but I still feel like getting to the temple. Shut the fuck up. I still feel like getting to the temple is still part of the temple experience.
I think
In this case.
Yeah,
because the temples are so small.
In this case, the Spirit Temple. I actually prefer the Spirit Temple over the Water Temple.
Well, there's a Spirit Temple.
Yeah, there's a Spirit
Good
Temple that
sage.
you don't actually do anything in.
Yeah, there's just a boss fight. And it's arguably one of the best.
It's Rock'em Sock'em robots.
But if you include
Mech wrestling
what,
match.
Okay, that's the one
what
I get the
opens it up,
You gotta do it. It's pretty good.
I know I've got to do it. I got to beat the game. I got to kill Ganondorf for the final time. He's
Ganondorf?
never coming back.
that's fine.
So-
yeah, no, he'll totally never come back. Never ever.
So I did the who's the girl? The
girl bird.
Riju.
is she the
The
light
Gerudo?
the light temple?
the lightning one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lightning Temple.
So I didn't know. So when I got to the into the dungeon, you have to hit that light, and you have to get off. I don't know.
You gotta reflect light. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, there has to be more than one light source, but I'm only finding one light source. So the whole dungeon, I just took that one light source, I rigged it to hit every other.
That temple was tricky. I'm not gonna lie. And I thought it was pretty good.
And that was my only dungeon
That's how
I
I
did.
saw
I was like, I'm
Gotcha
done.
shrines. You didn't think I would just take all the material that you gave me with you, did you? I'll make a big bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I did the lightning shrine or the lightning temple, like I'm like, oh cool, it's a single corridor. It's straight. And then you get to the hall room, and like, oh boy, it's still a single corridor.
I think I like the Lightning Temple the most as far as the temple itself. I didn't care for the fucking lining up the mirrors to open it up.
Yeah, that was probably the hardest part.
And I like the boss in concept. I do not like the boss in execution.
We all agree the water temple boss is dumb, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did anybody else pull out a fire hydrant?
No.
I did.
I should have.
I
No.
did not use Sidian's power for anything. I just used Splash Fruit. I was like,
I just used Ultra Hand and pulled out like 3 fire hydrants. And the thing was done in like 5 minutes.
I went there first, and I didn't have the fire hydrants in my inventory, so I was
Yeah.
like, well, I guess I'll do I'll slap it with water, and then I'll chase it all around. And God, this sucks.
I hated waiting for Sidon doing that. I eventually did just pull out Splash Fruits, and I was just like,
think-
fuck this shit.
I think the reason the Water Temple for me was so easy is because it's one of the dungeons they kind of want you to go to first. It's either that or the Rito, but I had the Master Sword, and I had like a Lionel Horn on it, so it was really strong. And I had fire hydrants, so I killed Muktarok in like 7 hits.
Yeah.
It was really easy.
oh, you attach your gloom weapons to the Master Sword.
Do you still take gloom
No,
damage?
you don't.
Is it really strong?
It's like plus 40.
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah, like the Gloom Sword's like 44 or something like that.
I just got one from a Phantom Ganon that was 50.
Yeah, and you just slap it on the end of your sword
Yep.
because you're not technically holding it.
That's kind of awesome, actually.
Yeah, so I did water, lightning, fire, and then wind. And let me tell you, fire is my
Dude,
least-
win last?
Yeah!
What a dumb idea.
It's cold up there!
He's not
I
wrong.
didn't have any cold gear.
I did the
You can
exact
cook
opposite.
stuff.
I don't want to cook shit. It only gives you 2 minutes of resistance. Like, I'd rather wear pants.
Fair.
I did wind, fire, water, lightning,
That's what I did.
and then spirit because I was like, oh shit, there's a secret 5th dungeon.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I found
It's
this.
actually secret.
Not really.
Kind
Or
of.
is
They're
it
just like, oh
already-
shit, we're missing a 5th party member.
Okay, so this is one of those like, damn, where's Dave at? He didn't respond to my text
Literally,
messages.
where's Dave?
We better go to his house and get him. We're gonna need his mech suit powers.
Well, it's kind of dumber than that.
Do
It's
I become
like
a Voltron?
No.
no.
Oh, I don't get. Me and the sages don't combine together.
No.
to
You
make
do
that.
get a mech.
You get a little. You get the ride armor from Mega Man X.
Do I have to buy it?
No.
Do I have to buy insurance on my mech?
No, you don't. This isn't Xenoblade.
Yeah, thank God. It doesn't even break.
Oh, but all the equipment you put on it does.
Yeah, but that's fine. It still technically does things if you just have it out.
I'm gonna attach the master sword to it.
You can put a rocket on its back.
You can. It's a dumb idea because it only works once.
I put a
But,
cannon.
but yeah, no, I found the Spirit Temple when I was dredging around the depths. And I'm like, oh man, look at that sword on the map. I want to go check that out. And I walk up to it and it's like, Spirit Temple. I'm like, oh, cool. Thanks, game. Now what?
I actually found the place where you build the robot really early, and
I
I was
did
just
too.
so fascinated. 'Cause I'm like, what do you put into this? We're totally gonna build something here. It's gonna be super cool. And then it finally came together. I'm like, oh, that was pretty cool.
No, it wasn't cool. It sucked. It was like, hey, here's a puzzle for each piece. And
Oh, those puzzles pissed me off. At one point, I just made a giant bridge to finish it.
yeah, I did all the puzzles before I had the ability to get the pieces to finish the puzzle.
You don't even want to know what I did. You know this.
Type into the internet. Robot puzzle. Tears of the Kingdom.
No, I actually didn't. So I actually, you know those levitating pads?
Yeah.
I used those a lot, and I abused Ascend.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Well, but you can't ascend while holding something. Because the whole time you have to get something out of...
Well, you can
each of those-
ascend to the pad, and then I used Ultra Hand to just
move it over?
Just
Yeah.
keep moving it.
No, that works. I just made a giant ass bridge, and
Sounds like I will be having an exciting time typing in robot puzzle Tears of the Kingdom in the old Google.
And then you get like 100 search results because it doesn't know what the fuck you're talking about.
no, it's not that bad. There's just one that's stupid.
Which
That
one
being
is that? Is that the lava one? Because I hated the lava one.
I didn't mind the lava.
That one was dumb because I'm like, oh, cool, look. I could, like, climb across it, but I can't do anything because I gotta carry the damn leg across.
The only one I couldn't figure out was the one with the wheels.
Is that not the lava one?
Yeah, there was one with the wheels, and I was like, what the fuck do I do? I tried putting the wheels on it, and it just wouldn't go.
Is that the one where you have to use the wheels to open the doors?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty
that
sure.
that was fun.
Yeah,
It wasn't
you
even
also-
like wheels. There was like a fucking conveyor belt.
Oh!
Oh,
like,
that
yes.
one.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not the lava one.
Oh, that's the one I built a giant bridge for because I got
That's
pissed
the
off.
one I used the pads, the levitating pads for.
Yeah,
And I
can
just
see
used
that.
Ascend and then the fucking Ultra
I
Hand.
think
Because I
I've
was like,
ignored the levitating pads every time I've seen them. It's like, no.
they're useful.
They
The
are.
Zonai devices are so useful, and you can just fucking cheese any puzzle. It's actually pretty great.
Honestly, the hover bike probably would have solved every single one of my problems.
Yeah, the hover bike's real good.
I like stacking stuff on top of each other in shrines when they're like, okay, you gotta manipulate this wind. I'm like, yeah, but what if I put everything on top of each other? And then I just make a big bridge and then I just poke the target. I'm like,
No,
I don't know how I got the ball. I don't know how to get the ball over there, but what if I do this? Then I hit the target and it's like, good work. And I'm like, I'm so smart. I'm the smartest man alive.
You know what the sad part is? I figured out a lot of those targets you can just shoot them with a bomb arrow.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
any of the
Oh, fuck
orange
off.
circular ones.
I was so pissed off in one shrine. I was just like, fuck it.
Did you get?
Which shrine?
Did you find the shrine that had the
anymore.
square and a log?
Jacob probably has. He has found every shrine.
So you had to take a ball.
Is it the pendulum one where like you stick the cube on the end of the stick and then you like swing.
Yeah, I have no
Yeah,
idea
yeah,
how I was
yeah, I
supposed
know
to
what
actually solve that one. I just stacked everything on top of the pendulum, and then I was like,
Yeah.
and I hit the target. I have no idea how that was actually supposed to be solved.
Okay, so I've also done every shrine. I know exactly which one he's talking
I know the
about.
pendulum one.
If you could tell me how to do it, well, I'm not gonna do it anyways. But I sat there for like 30 minutes. I'm like, how the hell do you take this square and move it across this line, and then have the thing the ball swing up into?
Oh, that's the one where it's like diagonal, and you gotta like.
Yeah, and you can.
You gotta use the momentum to like.
Yeah.
Make the cart or whatever go up to the top. Yeah.
The biggest thing with those games is physics. You got to use like the physics so fucking.
I don't
much.
remember how I did it.
I just gave up. I was like, yeah, I'm done with this one.
Yeah, I remember getting stuck on that one for a bit. There were a few that there was only one that I brute forced with actually being pissed off and shot with a bomb arrow, and I was like, oh hey, that worked. I think that was the torch one.
The torch one.
Yeah.
There's one with
there's 150 of these things. So.
Okay, there's one where
the one with the fire. Okay.
yeah, where you have to keep lighting torches, and there's one where there's like a level below, and there's one above, and there's a switch you gotta hit that like lowers part of it, and I was just sitting there like, it lowers part of it and it lowers the torches. Like, what the flying fuck is this supposed to do?
Does it have 3 torches?
I think.
They get lowered off the platform.
Yeah, it pissed me off. I gave up.
Oh, is that the one where you gotta like sit on the switch and then the floor gives out and the torches come down?
Yeah.
Yep, that one sucked.
You didn't just use fire arrows?
I think I eventually did.
Okay.
But
it was
because
I used the candlestick
because it kept showing me the fire on the other side of it, and I'm like, but I can't get there. It's just like, God.
You know what shrine gave me the most problems, and I'm not embarrassed to admit it because Brennan had the same problems once I was. So Brennan and I for the first couple of days we talked on online when we were playing, and I came to the stealth one where you had to sneak up against that robot.
Yeah.
And that one did suck.
Because it didn't tell me.
Bad.
It didn't tell me that there's a prompt. So for the first like 10 minutes, I'm like, okay, I'm sneaking up on him, and then I go swinging. He turns around, and looks at me, and then you have to wait through that cutscene of like, this is the stealth one. Go slow.
That was my least favorite.
Have fun.
That's my least favorite part of the game so far. Like, listen, game, you don't gotta tell me every time that I fail one of these stupid combat ones what to do.
So I was like raging, and Brennan's just kind of like, well, dude, all you have to do is stealth up on him. And then a couple of days later, Brennan had to reset his whole game, and then he got to that one.
And
then
he spilled milk on his
No.
cup?
Okay, so what happened was he got all the tiers, and he was gonna get the Master Sword, but he didn't have the 2 stamina wheels required. So after that, he couldn't find the banana dragon anywhere, and he's just like, "Well, I'll just give up. I'm just gonna redo everything so I can find the banana dragon."
Was it just the
Wait,
depths?
define redo everything.
He started over.
What? Dude, you can realign. Like you just go to fucking Hateno Village.
You just gotta wait. I mean, it's a 24 hours.
But so anyways, so he got to that dungeon or that shrine, and he had the exact same problems. And then so I gave up on it. And then this is back when the game was great and it had the duplication glitch. So I went and got the chic outfit for 1,500. And she's like, "Oh, you can if you do a mission for me, I'll make it cheap." I'm like, "No, I don't give a shit.
If you make me some porridge, I'll refund your money."
So I went back there and I was just like, "Wait, I have a chic outfit. I just put the chic outfit on. I beat the shit out of that robot." And I was like, "Fuck this game."
I do hate the stealth in those in that
The
game.
stealth isn't very good, especially when you have to be right up their butt to even get the prompt.
Can I talk about the dumbest thing I did in this game?
Go for it. We've got still 2.5 hours before we're forcibly kicked out.
Yeah, I know. So when I had about 8 hearts, I decided to go and liberate Lurlin Village.
Hell yeah.
So that's
So how many times did you fail?
I was playing it for 3 straight hours.
Yes, okay, that's on.
I could take 1 hit
Yep.
from a black level anything, and I would be left with 1/4 heart. I had to sneak up on pretty much everything, including the ship. And getting onto that ship was a pain in the ass in and of itself. I spent probably half an hour just trying to figure that shit out. But yeah, I tried and failed to liberate Lurlin Village, and I finally did it. And then they're like, hey, would you be able to help us rebuild? And I'm like, you know what?
Hey, there's no prize. So if you could rebuild our city, that'd be cool.
And I was like, all right.
Thanks for liberating, though.
What do you need? Well, we need regular logs, not these...
Do not cut down our palm trees. No, those are stupid logs.
They're not going to help. Go find logs on the other side of the map. And I went, fuck you! And I left.
Other side of the map, they were right.
Yeah,
I didn't find those.
They were up the hill.
Do you want to know how I did it?
Kind of.
All right, so I went and I decided to find. I went to the closest.
They were little. You just had to go up the hill.
Just hold on. I
how
went
far
to
how many miles did you carry these logs?
I went
he went up to Hebrew.
No, not that far. I went 2 stables away. Because that was the closest stable I could find that had logs. And the plan is I was going to build a cart and cart every single one of these fucking logs.
And this plan didn't work, right?
No, because the fucking, the cart would break.
Yep, okay.
And I was like, fuck it. I cut down 15 trees, I glued them all together, and I walked. For 5 minutes.
So did you then realize as you were getting there that there were a whole bunch of trees? Like
never found out until way after when Jacob told me. He's like, dude, there were trees like not that far away, and I was like, dude, I don't even get.
Yeah, unfortunately, there were also Giga trees up there too. So
regardless, I hauled with Ultra Hand 15 goddamn trees.
Not the Evermeans. There were actual Gigas pretending to be trees.
That sounds awesome.
It is awesome.
Why would I hate that?
I walked up, I'm like, cool, 3 trees right off the bat. I pulled out my axe, and they're like, hey, don't chop me down, bro. I'm like, what? And then we got into a scuffle. I'm like, oh.
You got some bananas.
Can I ask you, while we're talking about trees, were human, or not human trees, but were the trees that walked, were they in the first game
No,
too?
the Evermeans were new.
Because that was pretty funny. Like, when that thing started chasing me, I'm like, what's it going to do? And it, like, slammed its head down,
Are
and,
they
like,
the
it missed
only
me.
new enemy?
Boss Bokoblins,
Gibdos.
Horriblins, Gibdos.
There's a new flying thing called an Aracuda.
Oh yeah, that stupid thing. That looks
Those are fun.
That looks like a big keys.
I just want them for their eyeballs.
The bosses are all new.
Bosses don't count.
All the armored stuff.
Well, no, because one of them's a fucking just an Octorok, but it shoots goo.
Yeah, he's.
I know there's more. I just can't.
I don't know why Ganon hired him.
I don't know
He needs
either.
to get better directions.
Gloom hands.
So,
All the
Gloom
gloom
Hands
stuff.
might as well be a boss.
It is. It's Phantom Ganon.
Yeah, I know.
Do they always become
Oh.
Phantom Ganon?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, no, not always. I fought some Gloom Hands that didn't turn into Phantom Ganon.
Oh, well, you got the defect ones then.
Yeah, apparently.
I mean, Phantom Ganon isn't even the boss. The boss are the gloom hands themselves.
You're not wrong. It gets easier because the Gloom Hands are a pain in the ass.
I hated those things right at the start of the game.
I shoot bomb arrows at them.
I didn't have bombers.
Bombs are
when I fought
not
the
a
first
luxury, or bombs are a luxury at the beginning of the game.
Well, unless you go immediately into the depths, because that's where you find them all.
Yeah.
time. Yeah, I was losing them constantly, and I spent a whole bunch of time down in the depths.
Until I realized you could make a hover bike, which I should have done earlier. I
Everything is
had
hover bike with
no.
you guys.
I had no.
I didn't use it either.
Can you
I
attach
found
a
it from
hover
these
bike to
fools.
your horse?
No, because your horse is obsolete. You don't need.
Yeah,
the
I don't think
Horse is even more obsolete than it was in Breath of the Wild.
I never used horses in Breath of the Wild, let alone in this game.
I love using the horse.
I mean, I just run around. I'm okay just running.
I
Link's
used.
got very strong calves in my opinion. He's very good on leg day. He's not sore at all.
I used the horse for the first part of rebuilding Lorelin, and then I'm like, I could just turn this into a car. I don't need the horse anymore.
So back to Lauren. What was the first building you built? It was the treasure shop, right?
No.
What?
What?
I built the
Blasphemy.
I built the inn first.
That's stupid.
Look at this guy. Aaron, what did you build first?
I actually haven't done that side quest.
What?
You beat the... Ganon's dead. There's no need.
Ganon,
Well, the
actually, it's
problem
not
is
because
that
it goes back.
The problem is that they heard from me that it wasn't worth it because I did all of it, and I was like, "Is any of this worth it?"
Don't worry, I didn't hear from you until.
I didn't
just
struggle
now.
as bad as Phil.
But now I like hearing it.
Well, yeah, because you did it later in the game. Because I'm an idiot.
I didn't do it much later, but I had a few ancient arrows, and I shot that at the boss Bokoblin and most of the black enemies. And
Look at you.
they were just dead.
I had to sneak up on them.
I think
It
I had
sucked.
like 10 hearts.
Once I saw 15 logs,
I
I,
don't
was
know.
just like, fuck
Phil,
this.
I just kind of stabbed them a whole bunch. I died a lot, but I was like, all right, we're just going to keep going at this until eventually you're all going to be dead and I'm not.
Well, the problem is that I didn't have enough food with me to actually go toe-to-toe with them and keep healing myself. So I had to sneak up on them.
With the
Zonai
blood,
cooking pot.
with the blood moon, do they come back?
No.
No.
But if you leave the area without clearing them out, they gain all their strength back.
I don't think any of the pirate ships respawn, do they?
I don't think so.
They have a health bar, so I don't think... Or they have like a...
You didn't meet the
Monster
removal
forces.
squad?
I did that.
I did,
love them.
but I
Oh,
didn't do their fight with the pirate ship.
It's probably the best fight I've ever seen. Just have a bunch of guys doing all the work for
Yeah,
you. And I sat there and I'm like, I'll take this, I'll take that, I'll take this.
And by all bunch of guys, you meant you stabbed all the enemies and like every
All
now
the weak
and then,
ones, I
every
took
now
care
and
of
then the
them.
corner went rah.
I took care of all the weak ones while they took care of all the big ones, and I was like, this is great.
Yeah, I built.
Follow me over this way,
I
guys.
rebuilt Lauren Village while I was waiting for Beetle to restock his items so I could buy more dragonflies from him, so I could get the stupid flute guy.
Oh,
Because he was like, I need 10 dragonflies. I was like, well, I'm not going to go out and seek 10 dragonflies. Because that sounds awful.
I did that. I left that for like the longest time until I found a place where they just kept showing up, and I was like, all right, fine, I'll grab them. And
You could buy them from Beetle 3 at a time.
yeah, but
I bought my...
You didn't get the fancy flint and the 1,000 rubies from the Goron? Wow, what a poor.
Have you seen Beetle's prices, though?
Yeah, they're reasonable.
They're bad.
Have you
Aaron,
seen
I've
the
got
duplication
3,000
glitch?
rubies, okay?
I've got 30.
Did we know
Thousand.
anything about... Wow, man, I
yeah,
gotta
no,
pay-
you're the only one I know of that did that.
That's because he duplicated a bunch of diamonds.
You were just bragging about or wait, was that him?
No, I didn't duplicate anything. I'm not a
I
cheater.
told
I
you.
play the game the way Nintendo wanted me to.
I only duped when I needed to upgrade the
No, okay.
Royal Guard set, and it required items that I needed to get boss bokoblins, and every fucking boss bokoblin was silver.
Here-
Every single one.
Here's the thing. I don't want to call Phil out.
Lost my mind.
Kicks
But
ass.
Phil,
Sounds awesome.
Phil
Call
was kind of
anybody
like,
out.
Phil's kind of like, don't duplicate, don't ruin the game. I'm like, no,
No,
fuck
no,
that.
no. I didn't
just
say
wait,
don't
just
do
wait,
it.
just wait, just
no,
wait.
no, you're
just-
putting words in my mouth.
Okay. But I'm going.
I didn't say don't ruin the game. What I said was I'm not going to ruin the game.
Okay,
for
yeah,
myself.
yes. And then find out a week after this duplication glitch or the update, Phil's like, I think I haven't updated yet. I think I'm gonna do the duplication glitch, and then so it's like, what? Why didn't you update?
I think my favorite thing was like the first duplication glitch that came out, the one where you need to attach a thing to the bow, and then drop a bow, equip another bow, and then drop that one as well. And like, that was the worst way possible.
Yeah.
And then literally the next day they're like, oh, so what you do is you jump, you get on your shield, hold 4 items that you want to duplicate and one that you only have one of, and then you'll drop them.
You know what's funny? Because Brennan sent me one of the duplication glitch ones, and it looks it's like you shield surf or something. And I was like, I don't know how to do that. And then Jacob sends it the next day. Just glide and drop. And I was like, thank you, Jacob. I love you so much.
Yeah, then the next day I text the group, I'm like, guys, new dupe text out.
I play the game the proper way, like a good Christian.
and like you jump off a ledge with the glider and you drop 5 items. And then literally the next day they're like, hey, if you get in the fucking mech, you can dupe even faster. I'm
Oh,
like,
dude.
I didn't know about the mech one.
yeah, I know, it's the same principle, but it's even faster and you can dupe bombs and stuff without them exploding.
How much did you dupe, Jacob?
A lot.
Can I tell you?
Silver battle all over again.
You better believe it's over battle.
Can I tell you what not to do?
Is it bombs?
No. Well, I didn't try that one. So I went to this village, and there was a guy who's like, I need 10 frogs. And
Fuck that guy. I walked right away from him.
I had 5 frogs.
Well, that guy was a creepy weirdo anyways, and I was like, 10 frogs? You're out of your mind.
I had 5 frogs, and I was like, well, let me just do the duplication glitch. So I did
They
everything.
just run away, don't they?
They drop, and then they all splatter different directions. I was like,
The
well,
lizards are worse.
that was pointless.
The lizards are worse. They'll just sprint away.
You're like, no, my frogs, come back.
I'm like, now I'm down to 1. Fuck.
Did you get the frogs and give it to him?
I did. I got all 10.
Did they, what is it?
So here's the thing.
What's the
I watched
prize?
Jacob. I watched Jacob do all the quests. So everything that Jacob was playing one day, he did like 5 quests. I was like, I'll just copy what he did. So I followed the lady, found the frogs, talked to all the people.
Did the election.
So everything that he did, I was just copying.
That's my favorite quest in the game.
The election?
Oh, I went to that town exclusively to buy rice for the Lauren Village.
Fair. All right.
Then I walk into the wrong store. I walk into the hat lady store and I see the hat and I'm like, oh my god, I need to have that hat. And then all of a sudden there's a mayor election. I'm like, municipal politics, let's fucking go. And she's like, here, you need to hand these mushrooms to the unfashionable people. I'm like, lady, point me at the uggos. Where are the uggos?
And then then you had to steal a cheese recipe for the other guy.
Yeah, no, I was
You
literally
didn't
on the...
steal it. You found it in the pond.
You invaded a man's shack.
I shot the fucking stupid thing with an ice arrow, and I was like, ah, cool, an ice platform, and then I picked up the treasure chest, and I was like, here's your dumb recipe or whatever. Here, vote for Cece, Uggo.
So
Then they gave me the hat, and I was like, yes.
Before we move on,
Yes.
what do you get for the guy who had 10 frogs? Just so you can tell Josh.
I'm guessing
rubies.
probably a silver.
I don't think he got anything. I think he's just like,
Yeah, I think he's just like, oh boy, that girl really likes frogs, so I guess I'll go collect some more frogs and maybe here's 10 rupees.
If Link could talk, he could have told her, because I think. So what's the they talk, the people talk, and then they go, but
they say it under their breath or whatever.
So it's like you're hearing it. So like, Link should have been like, oh yeah, she doesn't.
No,
she
Link thought it was hilarious that he was giving the dude 10 frogs. Link's a fucking goblin
because
in this game.
Because she's like, I like frogs, and then she's like, well, no, I just had to think of something because that's what my dad likes. And then it's like, okay, well now we're gonna tell a creepy guy, like, hey, she likes frogs.
I don't want that guy to succeed.
Weirdo. I think they also had that quest in Breath of the Wild, and I think it was also frogs.
Oh my god. No, because wasn't that one the guy with the Gerudo girl?
No, I don't think so. There was some dude just hanging around in Hateno who wanted 10 of something stupid.
Is there a big prize if you do all the Addisons?
No.
Probably. I'm guessing it's a glider.
I'm betting it's not. Because you get the Hudson glider for...
I know if you give,
like
what's his name, all the bubble gems, he just gives you a glider.
That's dumb.
I don't like that guy. I'm upset with him entirely because he ran away. And I was like, buddy, I've got more of these. You don't have to go anywhere. Why are you running away?
It's a glowing
I
glider.
shouldn't have to need to come find you. I've got like 14 of these. You can have all of them. I don't know what they do.
Well, the problem is he had to set up his shop so he could give you something.
Well, give me the bootleg magic armor.
That's what I wanted, and he's like, have these monster parts. I'm like, I don't want these.
Don't you want these bokoblin horns? They're very rare.
Is what he gives you random?
No, it's set.
Oh, okay.
But you do have to get through his bullshit before he gives you the things you want.
Yeah.
Did you guys come across the Gerudo lady and the guy? There's some village. It's like...
Are you talking about Terrytown?
Yeah, it's like the mayor's place or something. Like somewhere down there. It's like a corner. And
like
they have a daughter.
Big circular town. Yeah, that's Terrytown.
Yeah, they have a daughter.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, how the fuck did that dude get so lucky? Yeah.
Don't you hook them up?
Yeah.
Are they not hooked up?
No, you hooked them up in Breath of the
Wild.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
Terrytown was a big quest in Breath of the Wild where you had to bring like 7,000 logs.
I just looked at it, I'm like,
you literally built
at least it was pieces of wood and not logs. Anyway.
I just looked at the couple. I'm like,
you went to the wrong place, Phil. This is your fault. This isn't the game's fault. There were trees up the hill.
Speaking of Terrytown, did any of you guys build a house?
I did.
I literally have not. I've only been there like once.
I did that. Was I the only one here that built a house?
Here, and I walked away.
I built a house. And I'm like, wow, I don't care.
I didn't know you could.
I did it. I liked having like a place I know where I could cook and
what happened to the house
guaranteed blessing shrine.
Zelda took it.
Well, you and Zelda lived in it together, and then when Zelda disappeared, Link just didn't want to be there anymore.
You live in the house, you guys live together in the.
So
Hateno
this
house.
version of Link and Zelda are together, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Wait, what are you looking at?
It's not said directly, but it's very clear.
It's very implied.
Okay.
There's even a note from Zelda that, like, I need a place to be private because I keep getting bothered. I'm like, man, Link really is getting at it.
Which is weird because he doesn't talk. Like, he's just...
He does,
He
according
talks
to
off
her
screen.
diary.
He talks off screen. He taught her how
Didn't
to
he
ride a
like
horse
take
or
a vow
something.
saying he's not supposed to?
No, he just thinks it's part of his duty to keep quiet.
Yeah.
He's
all I
weird.
know is I saw that ending cutscene, and everybody's chanting, and Link's just standing there like,
yes!
That's funny.
He's just, everyone's doing the thing from the past, and he's just sitting there, mouth closed.
I just don't know how that kind of looks at it as like, maybe we should have him like do something.
I wish he had spoken.
I was really hoping he would just T-pose there. Everybody everybody else is doing the vow. He's just fucking.
Well, we'll have to show Josh that ending cutscene because it's
let's not,
funny.
because he had to get through the whole Ganondorf fight for that.
No, I just look up on YouTube.
Yeah, he'll see it eventually.
I do really not like this Link. It's just he's
He's a fucking weirdo.
How the fuck? Man, he's
not
so
only
much
is he
worse
quiet-
than Ocarina of Time Link. You know that
He
guy.
is worse than Wind Waker Link.
The one Link with personality in the whole
Exactly.
series.
Wind Waker Link in terms of personality is
Don't
probably
you
the
dare,
best.
Phil, don't you dare try to tell me the other Links have personalities.
Wind Waker
Except
Link is top
maybe-
tier in personality.
Yes.
Hey.
Yes, if you
There
have a
were
series of
there were-
mannequins and one has a smiley face, that mannequin will in fact be better than the other mannequin.
I mean,
Well,
Skyward
there-
Sword Link also had
I've
somewhat of.
never played Skyward
Well,
Sword.
that's a you
Twilight
problem.
Princess, that man, that teenage boy loves to fish.
It's a bad game.
It's fucking hilarious.
You know it's a bad game.
No, it isn't.
You know in your heart that it's a bad game.
The only
I
flaw
enjoy
in
it.
Twilight
I
Princess
don't
is
know-
Ganondorf.
I don't
Look,
know
you
whether
two
it's-
can fight in the parking lot later.
True.
I don't know if it's a bad game, but I have enjoyed what I've played.
We're here about Tears of the Kingdom.
You're right.
And there's gonna be
My
a lot of
point
tears
is-
after this.
None of these Links have personalities. There's
No, they don't.
there are a series.
My
of
point about the Wilds and Tears of the Kingdom's Link is like, I swear to God, people could be dying in the background. He'll still just be standing there like this.
No, he wouldn't do that. He'd pull out his phone and take a selfie.
No, the main thing that this Link loves to do is he loves to murder, and it's very
and set
clear.
things on fire.
Yes,
The last thing that he was bored out of his mind, and when the gloom came out, he's like, "Well, this kind of sucks, but at least I get to murder things again."
So was the Blood Moon gone until this game started, or was that always still a...
It was in Breath of the Wild.
I know,
No,
like,
no,
okay.
like after we beat Ganondorf.
Like lore-wise.
So, okay,
Was it theirs?
Ganondorf is the source of the Blood Moon
Okay.
and Calamity Ganon.
Okay.
I would assume.
He is the source of the
Now-
Calamity and the Gloom.
Is this the same Ganondorf we
Yeah.
fought in...
Yeah, the malice is just fart clouds.
Because Jacob was very confused about this at one point as to whether or not these were the same Ganons, or we had like a Zelda 2 situation going where, like...
If you're asking if it's the same Ganondorf from Ocarina of Time.
No,
from Breath of the Wild.
from Breath of the Wild.
It is this.
Yeah.
Okay, Calamity Ganon is a mirage of this Ganondorf.
Yeah, he's the fart clouds coming out of Ganon.
It's his
Literally.
stand / evil energy /
no, it's Killer Queen?
constipation.
Oh no.
I mean, I wouldn't call it Killer Queen. It doesn't do anything nearly as cool.
If you're asking about timeline, I don't give a fuck. I don't even think Nintendo gives a fuck anymore.
I've always been of the opinion that the timeline was made up, and they just kind of went, ugh.
Yeah, no, obviously it was.
Yeah, I've always been like, they're like, dude, I don't know how to tell you this. I don't care, nerd.
No.
There's
I don't
so
care
many
at all.
flaws between Breath of the Wild and this game. I don't even want to get into it.
Well, see, the thing is, when you have a timeline that spans 3 iterations and hundreds of years, you just do whatever.
Yeah.
Nah, far future. Hyrule gets redestroyed. There's like a meteor, gets reformed. That's why this takes place canonically right after Link's Awakening.
True.
God, don't you guys know the lore?
It was all a dream.
I fucking love that people are like, maybe this is a really far future of Wind Waker, and I'm like, please stop.
Stop it.
Just don't. Just don't.
You got any
it doesn't
evidence it's
matter. All we know is that it is a direct sequel to Breath of the Wild, and that the next game will be who the fuck knows and who the fuck cares.
The only thing that is actually confirmed is that all 3 timelines correlate into Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom because every single game is referenced in Breath of the Wild.
I think that's just a cheeky reference and has no impact on the lore.
That's why I don't want to get into it because
It's not worth our time.
Here,
Obviously, there's a sequel to Tingo's Rosy Rupee Land. And
Hell
the
yeah.
long-awaited sequel.
I once saw a guy, he had a whole Mario timeline.
That sounds unfortunate.
With like all like the Mario parties and the carts and the tennises were all like slotted in there, and I was like, I've had people like, no, there's a Mario time. I'm like, no, there's not.
Where does Mario Baseball land?
Like 2003.
Oh, it's the last game. You think they're giving anything
It's the
after Mario
downfall
Baseball?
timeline.
Where does the Mario game on the Virtual Boy land?
I think that was like 96.
But like in terms of chronological order, in terms of like the Mario.
Super Mario World and Super Mario Kart.
Okay, so it's the penultimate.
Okay,
It's like
but does that timeline take into account?
That's when it splits, of course. So it
Super
splits into 5 ways.
So that's the downfall.
Does that include the
Mario
the
dies.
CDI game that didn't come out?
CDI games don't count, Jacob.
Why do they not count?
They don't count the Zelda timeline either.
It's got Mario, it's got Link, those are canon. They were canon at one point.
That's true, by the way. The CDI Zelda games were canon at one point.
That's terrifying.
Until Nintendo was like, I don't want to be associated with this.
Well, I tell you,
like we didn't fucking.
I tell you what.
any rights to this.
When Disney buys Nintendo, they'll take out all the the side stuff and they'll make the
Yeah, they'll do
Main
the Star
game,
Wars Legends
they'll
thing
go,
to it.
I almost
Oh,
got
God.
Jacob the CDI Zelda games.
Oh man.
There's just one flaw. They're all like $300.
Not to
Except
mention how
Zelda's
much.
Adventure,
Is
which
that face not worth $300?
20 bucks.
No, because the CDI was also $300.
Is that face not worth $600?
No. The other problem with Zelda Adventure is like $1,500.
Oh, $1,500 for that?
Well, he's only sold 4 copies.
Yeah.
There's probably 4 copies out
They
there.
only sold 9 CDIs.
Yeah, but that's our birth year Zelda game. That's the one that we're like soulbound to.
Yeah.
You and me.
I'm pretty sure that also one doesn't have fun cutscenes. That's one with the live action cutscenes.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
that's the
They're
bad-
all in like slow motion too.
That's the
you know?
really bad CDI one.
I mean, at least it's top down, so it's
Awful? Still?
slightly less awful.
No, it's still awful.
I mean, I assume it is, but it.
Where does Zelda's Adventure fit in the timeline?
in the dungeon. That's where it is. It's locked away.
It's
It's
a
that-
continuation of Ganon's toilet. You see, you go deeper.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Zelda, Dragon, why?
Because she ate her stone.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know why she made these decisions.
Because she had to purify the sword for a very long time.
Listen, Josh,
I
did
do-
you get the
The
cutscene?
she didn't want the Master Sword to break again.
Did you get the cutscene where they had an ambush, and then they ambushed the ambusher, and then they got ambushed by the ambusher and the ambusher?
What?
Are you talking about
He's
Gandorf's
talking-
face?
the Ganon
Yeah,
smile.
I really liked the tiers as a concept, just because I actually really enjoyed the fact that you go out of order. I don't know if there's actually an order, because I
There
tried...
was.
I have a
we
story with
fucked it
this.
up.
What?
Okay, so my story with these tiers is I got the cutscene with just Zelda and Sonia talking at the table, and then my next cutscene is just Ganondorf murdering Sonia
That's funny.
Yeah.
and stealing the secret
Yeah,
stone.
So my
Ganon-
second cutscene, the one after like the tutorial cutscene, was Ganondorf like losing a war. And so I had to go like backwards, and I was like, okay, how does this get established? And that never comes up because that's the last cutscene in the canon, and it's like Ganondorf gets his ass whooped by the King of Hyrule, who's like magic powers.
Well, no, he loses the fight, and then he swears fealty.
Okay, did
and
that
then,
come after?
Yeah, that came
Okay.
after. It's just completely unclear.
You're talking about the Moldugas? When he sends all the Moldugas?
Yeah, and the King of Hyrule was like, "Ugh!" It blows them all up, and I was like, oh damn. Sorry, Ganon. Looks like you lose again.
Yeah, Ganondorf really ain't shit unless he has the Triforce of Power or the Secret Stone.
And then, and just
What happens if Link eats one of these stones?
He becomes a dragon.
But it's not his stone.
It could be.
even more
he gets
like
a
what I
kidney
don't
stone.
get is that they described that the secret stones amplify whatever power you hold. So
He becomes CDI Link.
So again,
Excuse me.
does
That's
this,
not even CDI Link.
cartoon.
It's
so
fine.
does this mean the other 3 dragons are people who've eaten stones?
That's the real question, and that's the thing that bugs me, is that we don't see any proof that the other dragons are around, but they clearly know how to become a dragon.
That's what bugs me too, because they're named after Din, Pharaoh, and Nehru.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So were they once human?
No, they were Zonai. That's what the popular theory is now.
Yeah, so they were a group of idiots who ate their stones.
Look, those stones look like Tide Pods. They look delicious.
Oh god. And they're like yin yang bullshit, whatever.
We do know people eat Tide Pods.
Never
so-
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Tide Pods look
Link
delicious.
goes on this whole quest to learn about like
I don't
Zelda's
know how to do
disappearance, and then he tells nobody.
Dude, the best part
He
is when they're like,
there's not a part where like you solved this and Link goes and like, hey, I figured out what happened to Zelda. He's like, well, taking that was fucking weird. Taking that one to my grave. No one's gonna believe. Hey, you know that new dragon with the sword horn? Yeah, that's Zelda. I gotta go pull that sword out of her skull or whatever.
my favorite part is when everyone's standing around, because I did like two temples before I got the Master Sword, and then I finished it up, and they're like, you need to go to Hyrule Castle. And I'm like, Link, tell them you know what happened to Zelda. This is not important. You know she's a fake. You've seen all of this. Tell someone. And
Nope.
he's like, nah, I'm just going to go along with this. It'll be funny.
I know that's probably the most frustrating part.
So do you
Of the
think like
game.
canonically the game is supposed to go Link gets the 4 sage swords
I
and
think
then
so.
he gets the Master Sword?
Yeah, he has to.
because-
Or he's a jerk, and he's like, these idiots. Yeah, sure. What? You know, honestly, he's probably just like, man, I sure can't wait to go stabbing again.
I swear to
Yeah.
God, he does troll the sages, because because by the point where I had all 4 secret stones. the Master Sword, and just on my screen, 3 quests completed. But my Link knew all of this. He knew Zelda was fake. He knew where the Master Sword was because I had it. Like, I knew where Ganondorf was. Like, I know where he's at. Let's go kick his ass. Why are we wasting our time up here in the castle?
So are we pushing for a hashtag cancel Link?
That's a jerk.
Is that what we're doing?
He's a troll in Tears of the Kingdom.
If you really take into account the way, depending on how you play that game, Link is hysterically awful. He is a monster, more so than he was in Breath of the Wild, because in Breath of the Wild it's pretty fucking funny when the king is like, save my daughter, I will now turn into spirit dust, and Link just goes off and just fuck all.
Yeah, see, my Link is a very distracted Link. He's like, wait, did you say I was supposed to save Zelda, or that I was supposed to do a mayor election? I did one of those. Oh, I didn't save Zelda, but look at all these ghosts I got.
Like,
I was really upset I couldn't cook the ghosts. I just want you guys to know. I was really upset I couldn't turn the ghosts into like a souffle.
Does anybody know
He's talking about the pose down in the depths.
You're mad you couldn't cook the ghost?
Yeah,
I
wanted to
was
cook
just-
the ghosts.
I was just more upset that the pose were just...
So what are the pose?
They're just more collectibles now.
They're lost spirits.
And
They've
you-
always been lost spirits.
Yeah, but...
They're just lost spirits used to be a lot meaner.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what you can do with them is you can sell them to the
Different.
big statue guys.
That are annoying to find.
Yeah, even knowing where they are, it's like, where the fuck are you?
I looked up a guide for all of them, and I'm like, I still can't find these things.
So fucking huge, and you just miss them. I don't get it.
But no, you can buy legacy gear with them, or the Dark Link set.
You can only...
the good Dark Link set.
Yeah, nine defense, but you can move faster at night.
Wait,
Really?
can't upgrade.
That's what it does?
Yeah.
It was a sin that you couldn't upgrade that. I was like, okay, but I like the Dark League set.
No, I think the Dark Link set looks like trash.
Dark Link's a jerk.
I don't want to look like older Links.
You
I
don't
think it's
look
cool
like an
that they
edgelord?
put that stuff in there,
You don't look like an edgelord.
but
The Dark Link set doesn't even look like an edgelord.
I
Yes,
don't,
it does.
I don't,
doesn't.
I
It's
don't-
Edgy Link.
I don't really care for the Dark Link set to begin with, but like I think the only interesting one that I really wanted to get was the original Link set.
I really wanted the Fierce Deity set.
Me too. It was the first thing I got.
I only wanted it because it was part of a side quest.
I
And Brennan was like, I'm going to tell you where to get it. I'm like, okay.
Well, I wanted it.
No, I told you where to get the first page.
Yeah, you told me where to get the first piece, and then Brennan told me where to get the rest of it.
No, he told me too, and I'm like, I don't know.
I just used Amiibo.
Yeah, I mostly didn't care because I none of my amiibos gave me
Look,
anything.
Nintendo always empties my pockets.
don't have shit for amiibos.
Like the only good thing I got out of the amiibos was the Von Medley mask or something like that. So I was able to go to the cold zone.
From the Rito.
Those
Yeah.
are terrible. I hate those masks.
I mean, they're not great, but like it was
Wait.
a layer of warmth
Do,
that I didn't have.
do you get to wear masks of the beasts?
Yeah,
Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
That sounds stupid.
it is. Stupid.
Yeah, considering there's no ancient, there's no Guardian set.
Yeah, that is.
But don't you want to wear the elephant mask?
Yes.
You can swim faster.
Wait,
is
that's
that?
the other part of the swim faster set?
No, there's a whole Zora set.
Fuck. I knew there was going to be a whole Zora set, because it's like, it only gave me one tick, and I'm like, where's the rest of it?
While we're on topic, what was your guys' favorite new armor sets?
I love the Royal Guard set. I think it's great that
It's not new.
It's new for me.
Wasn't it DLC?
Get got,
I
Phil.
don't think so.
I thought it was DLC.
If
I
it
mean,
was DLC,
okay.
then that explains a lot. Why
All right, that's fine.
Because I think it was part of the Champions DLC from the.
It might have been.
I didn't do it either.
You can just say what your favorite armor sets are.
I really wanted to do the charge set, but that was locked behind a fucking storyline.
I actually did that the wrong way. I just went through the what is that? What was that place called? Thunderhead Isles.
Something like that.
I went through that, not being able to see.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah. I had the Thunder Helm, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. I can't see anything through the piss mist, but whatever.
I didn't have
And then I found the mask, and I'm like, that's cool. Now I gotta take this to a cave. Sweet.
I eventually just went back and I saw that I had a quest from what's her name? Not Pura.
Paya.
Paya and Kakariko Village. I'm like, oh, I still have another main quest.
Yeah,
After I've beaten Ganondorf.
I figured that out afterwards because I'm like, okay, I can't see anything in this fucking mist, but I know there's a second shrine up there. And then when they're like, oh, you got to clear this out first. I'm like, oh, this was how I was supposed to do it. This is still really stupid.
Those sets do look really good. The Ember set, the Frostbite set, I think is what it's called, and then the Charge set.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever worn a full set.
They look awesome, but
I never got the Frostbite set. I stopped caring as soon as I beat Ganondorf. I'm like, I'm gonna collect the Ember set. And like, I don't really care.
I really liked the Glide set. I thought it looked really cool.
You didn't do all the quests, Jacob?
No,
That's you 100% of this game.
no, I like 15%.
You didn't get all the corks?
No,
Josh, there's like 80 Bolson signs.
81. Pretty sure.
Yeah, as soon as they started getting more complicated than just take one piece and put it underneath it, I was like, I don't even care.
I stopped for everyone that I saw, but I didn't actively hunt them down.
I still need to get all the light roots. I need like 30.
What if the main prize was really good?
It's probably like a glider skin.
It's probably like a silver rupee.
It's probably just, here's another red rupee, here's something I cooked, and here's a sleepover ticket.
Sick.
Hey, by the way, you don't get points if you use sleepover tickets, so they're fucking worthless.
Yeah, and it's only 20 rupees to sleep there, so you might as well fucking do it.
There's a lot of stuff I never did. I never found the gold horse.
Oh, I did.
That was part of one of the...
You never did the journalism?
Yeah, that was the journalism quest.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it was really good. The journalism quest was really good, because there's like... It's always the Yiga every single time.
No, what about the time it was a cave? Remember, you had to get naked and fight all those monsters in that cave?
That was fun.
I mean,
and
I
then
got
the one
Thunder
time you had to
Helm.
find some random lady stuck in a well
That's
singing.
sort of not related to the journalism.
I mean, I'm
Yeah,
talking
she
about
wasn't a
Yiga stuff.
God, Jacob, that's two of these.
Wait, what happened now?
And then there's the one where he's like, "There's no journalism here," and he left, and I was like, "Oh, cool."
That was a pretty good one. I like that one.
See, my problem with that one is, as it turns out, I found many shrines and did not go to the stable that correlates to that shrine. So I am missing like 6 fucking stables.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, oh, I don't want to find these.
See,
That's why I like that whole quest, because it's built to make you find every stable. Because there were like 3 stables I just hadn't discovered. I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, oh, alright. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I just pull up the map and I'm just like, okay, what looks like a stable? Because I'm going to go in that direction.
That's fair.
I'm pretty sure the only new outfit I didn't get was the Froggy outfit.
Froggy
because you
outfit
didn't
kind
do
of
the journalism.
It's not worth it considering all the stuff you have to do to get it.
I mean, you do the journalism, which is like 13 really fun quests. There's a talking Kuko.
Yes. It's great. It gives you
I feel like I have to go do
missions.
this now.
Aaron, you get naked and you fight a bunch of monsters in a cave.
Yeah, no, they're like, Zelda told us to fight monsters without any clothes, and you're like,
That
okay.
doesn't sound like something she'd say. But
One time you gotta go help a lady, and it turns out she was a Yiga, and you're like, oh, stab. And
You know how much that happens in this game,
she's
though?
like, you've bested me, and I was like, yeah, I know.
They're like crazy. You
That
guys
happens
never
so
win.
much. There's so many people that just turn out to be Yiga. There's a random person down the road. I'm like, hey, what's up?
And
Here's
then-
some food.
They
And
did
I'm a
that in Breath of the
Yiga.
Wild too. There was just a certain point where random travelers, like it was a coin flip whether they were Yiga or not.
yeah, I just started ignoring them because I'm like, yeah, you're probably Yiga. You're
But
probably
you
not going
get
to
the
tell.
bananas, which you cook to make the attack boosting potions.
Yeah, I never used those. I should have.
I also didn't use those.
I think without duplicating, because I didn't even duplicate to get Mighty Bananas. I think I have like 200.
Yeah, good luck trying to get under this.
Yeah.
But
It's
yeah,
a good
Um,
time.
I just made tons of slip-resistant potions.
Yeah, I found them to be very not useful.
no, I almost never use potions. I would use stamina recovery potions.
I've got a bunch of glow potions for when I go down to the depths.
You see, what
yeah,
you got to do is
I
there's-
did
there's
that,
a-
and then I'm like, this is stupid. It's not helping.
There's a timing trick. You got to climb up like 3 times and then do
I'm just
the
gonna be
leap.
mad about it.
And then do the leap. Climb up 3 times, then do a leap, and then you won't actually lose distance.
Wait, do the glow potions not do anything?
They're not very helpful. Like, even glow level 3 is just kind of like, well, like, cool, I can see what's directly around me. It would have just been faster for me to throw a fucking, like a bright bloom seed or whatever the hell those are called.
Those are so fucking common.
I've got a million of them in my pocket anyway, and I didn't have to dupe any of those.
Well, the sad part is when I figured out that the depths were just an absolute inverse of the surface. I would just look at the surface map and I'm like, okay, I know what the terrain is now.
You see, I did it backwards. I did all the depths first, and then I'm like, oh, I can just flip through the maps and there's the shrines. That's
How do you get to the depths? Like, the mazes have the depths entrances. How do you...
You gotta do the sky maze.
That's what I thought.
You do the land maze first, and that opens a door in the sky maze.
And then you look up at the sky and go, how the fuck am I going to get up
And then you build your hover bike. You go up there.
Wait, so you went to the depths maze first?
No.
There's a depths maze?
Yeah, there
Yes.
is. There's a depths maze for every...
And they're all connected together. There's the surface level one, there's the depths one, and then there's
What's
the sky
the price
one.
of the depths mazes?
Ganondorf set.
Yeah.
Phantom Ganon set.
Oh,
That one's actually useful.
You said Ganondorf when I got excited, but then you said Phantom Ganon, and all of a sudden I was like,
I mean,
Well, there's both Phantom Ganon set. There's the Wind Waker one. Wait, no, that's not Wind Waker. That's
Ocarina of Time.
no.
Spirit Tracks,
Spirit
Phantom
Tracks.
Hourglass.
That's not even a Phantom Ganon set. That's
I thought
the
it was a
Phantom.
Triforce
It's
Heroes.
Phantom, yeah. Yeah.
Is there a Triforce Heroes reference in this game?
I'm sure there's one of them.
Yeah, it's probably...
I hope
one of
there's
the
none.
areas.
I'm sure.
Triforce Heroes was a good game.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. I beat that game by myself.
Good. Don't ever play it again.
On, like, Jacob,
Yeah, I tried.
the fake Zelda fan, hasn't even
I'm
beat
glad
the
he called
whole
you
time.
out, not me.
You know, we played it one time. It was me, him, and Jacob. And let me tell you this, Aaron.
I like how you say him as if they can.
I like that. I do. His brain's like, what's his name? Him.
My point is, Aaron is the worst Triforce Heroes player. We're like,
Dude,
Aaron,
yeah.
stab the beast. He's like, what? Throw you guys off the cliff.
Aaron, we're all standing here. We need you to throw a bomb. All right, gonna drop the bomb on my feet.
I don't even remember this.
I do.
Don't worry, guys. I'm shooting the arrows.
We were all in a mine cart, and you're just like, drop bombs right on top of us. Gotcha.
It's a
I
good
wish a
game.
3DS could be, recorded, but
Well, I've been working on that. It's something that I really want to do because I've got some real
Fancy
trash.
Nancy.
Yes.
You got Fancy Nancy.
Do have Fancy Nancy. I've got some trash that I want to record.
So we're finally gonna do that full Codename Steam playthrough, Jacob.
No.
I have that game.
I know you do.
It cost $6.
Get that value.
Yeah.
I got 2 of them.
But
Son of a bitch.
First one didn't work.
Aaron, you own every game in existence.
Not anymore. I don't.
But from a certain years, from like 2012 to 2018,
Yeah, I was
any
buying
game with
anything.
any significant notoriety, you were like,
It's mine.
"Can I get 2 copies?"
Yep.
Except for Ride to Hell. You didn't buy that one.
I fucking hate that I didn't buy that. Never seen it again in the store after that.
How much
Yeah.
was it?
When it first came out and it was on, discounted, it was like $30, I think. I was like, that's a little too high for my taste. Never saw it again. $60 now, $70. I was like, this is a common story, but I'll tell it anyways. Devil's Third. I sold it to Jacob. Or Gabe. Hey,
That
trade
game
or
costs a lot of money now.
Yeah, I was like, I'll get it again someday. It'll be on the shelves. Yeah, $300 later. I'm just like,
I always get confused whenever I see like the Pokemon games are $70 because I'm like, you sold a lot of these. How do you have so much value?
yeah, well, the problem is that people aren't really fixing them, and the people who do have them are holding on to them. And Pokemon Go really made the prices inflate, and it pisses me off.
The copy of Pokemon White at the Video Game Center was like $80, and I was like, that game sucks. Why is this game so expensive?
Yeah, I was glad I got what I got when I did, because I refuse to buy Pokemon games anymore. It's just unless it's unless it's like a fan made reprint of a cart, it's never worth it.
can I tell you, not trying to change the subject, but can I tell you 2 short stories in the Zelda game that I did? So, I forgot, when they didn't have the glider, I did the Impa quest where you go up into the air in the hot balloon. And she's like, oh, just, jump off. And I'm like, well, how am I supposed to get off of here? And I didn't know you could teleport just with, because every other game, if you're in the air, it says you cannot teleport, or if there's enemy around, you can't teleport. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I don't know how to get off here. So obviously, maybe this is where I get the glider. I jump out, and then all of a sudden it pops out, and it's like, I got a glider now. And no, I just face plant and hit the car and kill myself.
Damn.
And then the second one, you rejogged my memory. You were talking about the Goblin Town that people took over.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lady walking on a path. She's like, I'm heading to wherever that town's called.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, I wish I could tell her. Yeah, you probably don't want to go there because it's inhabited by goblins. But Bokoblins, but I let her walk into her death, probably.
Nah, she probably turned around.
She probably did.
She probably despawned and then respawned away.
What you should have done, Phil, when you tried to do it, you should have worn the Bokoblin mask and like tried to negotiate with them.
I went there so early, I basically had nothing. It was stupid. It was a very poor decision, and I stuck to my guns because I was like, I can do this.
I think I went there, and I stealthed one of them. They were sleeping.
Yeah.
And I slapped him. It did absolutely nothing, and I was like, I'm probably gonna die here. So I ran off.
The biggest thing that got me to stay there was that every black Bokoblin and Lizalfos I killed, I got something great to put on a weapon, so it was just feeding on itself. So many failed attempts. I actually had a net gain in resources as I did it.
Nice.
So
yeah, I think when I was finishing it up, the last thing I needed to do was clear out the ship. And I was like, you know what, I ain't dealing with this. And I just started shooting them with bomb arrows. I'm like, water, be my friend. And it was very effective because they didn't see me.
I didn't realize there was like a crow's nest diving board you could climb up to jump into the ship.
Yeah.
So I dragged a fan from like the nearby beach over there, and I just hit it, and then I fucking glided dived into there, and then they killed me. Then I had to do the whole thing again.
yeah.
And then I got on there again, and then I killed all of them, and I was like, there's one more monster left. I was like, where the fuck is this last monster at?
Yeah, there was one I couldn't find too, and it was the one that's like in the well.
We gotta talk about these wells.
I love the wells. My favorite thing was just throwing myself down a hole. And then I got really mad because I forgot about Ascend. I'm like, how the fuck do I get out?
The princess needs to reform half these wells don't even have water in them. They've got monsters.
Yeah.
Did you find...
Or people!
Did you guys find the triple layer well? Where there's just a well inside of the well?
No.
And then inside of that well, there's another well?
No.
I didn't find.
That was my favorite one because I'm just like, it just keeps going. We're going to get down to the depths one way or the other.
What was the prize?
Nothing!
Awesome.
Just like every other well!
Hey, some wells lead to shrines.
So, when you guys were talking about the depths, you re-jogged my memory again. I didn't want to say it, but I know I definitely want to say it. When you go down that hole, I swear to God, I just call it Ganon's asshole.
We were all calling it that.
I called Calamity Ganondorf's fart.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's not an asshole.
I think the first time I went down there, I'm like, you guys go down Ganon's hole yet?
You go down his colon?
Yeah.
That was fucking fun.
And then there's the well that's outside your house in Hateno, and I'm like, you guys go in Zelda's secret hole yet? There's a diary that tells you where the
and you get Link's
upgraded
hair
tunic
tie.
is.
You get Link's hair tie in case you don't like his new hairstyle.
Yeah, in case you want to have fucking zero defense.
Yeah.
Here you go, buddy.
It's also a headpiece.
I'm wearing Cece's hat right now, okay? I'm going to wear that until I die.
You like looking like a mushroom?
I did the combo of Cece's hat, Frostbite, and then the pants.
That's pretty good.
I was like, this doesn't look like Link at all anymore.
I just want to play as a slut.
He was dressed like Tingle.
I was dressed like Tingle.
That's a slut.
I mean, it is.
I'm a slut!
Had my underwear on the outside and everything.
It was incredibly awesome. I think you said you fought Ganondorf as Tingle.
Yeah, I tried. I didn't fight him as Tingle. I just got the killing blow.
That's pretty great.
Because Ganondorf walking up to you just backhands you for like 19 hearts. I'm like, oh, cool.
You know what's funny? The final part of the game, you're just in your underwear.
Yeah.
So like you're just in Tingle's tights.
I was in the Tingle tights. I'm like, yeah, good. I really wanted to be the whole set, but no, fine, whatever.
So the Ganondorf fight was hard?
Not really. It's like the answer to everything he's got is just sidestep, and you can do a flurry, and then he'll be like, by the way, I can sidestep your flurry, and I'll do a move.
He's
That
like,
was
I can.
actually cool.
He's like, I can flurry you right back.
Yeah.
Then he becomes the dragon.
That part is a victory lap.
Yeah, that part's just, hey, do you...
It's basically just like a cutscene.
More
It's
or
a
less-
playable cutscene.
It's kind of like the Dark Beast Ganon from... It was Dark Beast, right? Or was it just...
It was Dark Beast in Breath of the Wild.
Okay, yeah, where you just, like, shoot it.
Yeah.
Well, you have to use the Master Sword.
You just drop down onto him, slap him around a little bit, jump off, Zelda comes over, picks you up, and then you drop back down on him.
It is better
It's
than Dark
fun.
Beast Ganon.
So my first Bleok, I did the ice one, and I got into the air on it, and I took out all of its heads, but I ran out of stamina, so I just hit the ground and died.
I still haven't killed a Gleeok because I remember one being in a certain place, and I went there, and it's not there anymore. And I'm like,
If you have lots of eyeballs, they're not hard at all.
No.
oh, okay.
I used a
Yeah.
fan. I
Like,
put a fan behind a rock.
And it's funny because like their first stage is significantly harder than any stage after. Because like the ice one, its first stage is like, what if 3 heads just shot ice gloom at you? So you break out of one, and then you get hit by ice gloom immediately.
Did you ever fight the King Gleeok?
No, I've only fought the ice one.
Okay, because let me tell you about the King Gleeok. It's just all 3 of them put together.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah, it's kind of bullshit because so the first one I fought was the fire one. And when it goes up into the air, I think you can just ride your glider up to meet it up there. And the lightning one is much the same. Just
could I have ridden my glider up on the ice one?
not in the
The
ice
ice one you have to recall like okay,
yeah.
okay, which I thought was really cool. By the way, I thought that was a really
So I didn't know that about the ice one because I've never fought a pure ice one. I fought the fire, the electric, and then I just went on my way fighting the King versions. And so I'm like, okay, I'll just ride my glider up with the lightning strikes. And the game's like, no, fuck you, we're dropping icicles on your head. And I'm like, well,
That happened to me against the King one too, and I was like, what the fuck do I do?
do the Gleeok respawn.
Yeah, every blood moon.
Yeah, there's one in the depths, which is the one that I unfortunately went to first. Because I'm like,
That one sucks.
I'm like, okay, I'm gonna kill you. You gotta be hiding something good. And I think it was just the fucking Twilight cap. And I'm just like,
Well,
that sucks.
just where that is.
Did it give you 100 crystallized charges or 20?
Oh god, I think it was only 20.
So the blood moon's randomized, right?
No,
No.
It's not.
no.
It's like once every week or once every 2 weeks.
Is
it's,
it-
It's way more frequent than it was in Breath of the Wild.
It's not. I looked it up. It's the exact same.
Is
I've
it if you don't
seen
kill
2
an
blood
enemy?
moons the entire time I've played.
So is it if you don't kill an enemy, you don't see the blood moon? They just don't do that cutscene. Because there's times I just avoid enemies, and then
That might be why.
I
But like I said, I think I've seen in 70 hours of playing, I think I've seen 2 or 3 blood moons.
Oh, I've seen dozens.
So once I learned that they come
Maybe
back,
that's
I was
because
like,
you're a
this is-
murder man, Phil.
I like killing things to get monster parts. It's one of my favorite parts of the game.
I think there's a whole like list of things that like add to the blood moon like rate.
Oh,
probably. Because you know the blood moon is just there to reset.
Yeah, because I mean, it might be because most of the monsters I kill are like the ones that don't respawn, like the pirate ship ones.
And yeah, so if the game doesn't need to reset everything, then if the game hasn't hit that internal memory yet, then it won't reset.
Because I don't put monster parts on my weapons because I'm dumb.
I do it all the fucking time.
I didn't do that until the end of the game, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna dupe a whole bunch of silver Lionel horns and 54 damage for everything now. I put some grinders on my boomerang. It was stupid.
I gotta get rid of my boomerang.
I kept the Wind Waker boomerang.
Yeah, I put grinders on that, and I'm like, this still sucks.
The boomerang was fun in Breath of the Wild, but
No, it
like,
wasn't.
I liked it.
I mean, they're not useful.
You throw it,
Yeah,
boy.
oh boy,
it
I'll
comes
just.
back, and you have to catch it. It's
I got a
skill
bow.
intensive.
Yeah, it's like you throw it, and then you get a real weapon, and then you just bash him with that.
Well, no, because you throw it and it comes back to you. You just have to
And
hit the A button.
Yeah, you have to mash the A button so you can catch it.
The only cool part of the boomerang was that the lizard guys could catch it. That you could throw it at the lizard guys, and then they would just catch it, and you'd be like, "Oh damn! Now he's got the boomerang."
I didn't have that happen. That's actually pretty cool. Because I didn't use the boomerang in Tears of the Kingdom.
No, that was in Breath of the Wild.
Oh, I know. But I maybe I think it's because
swung-
I killed the ones that had boomerangs, and I would just use the boomerangs on anything else I would find, which usually wouldn't be the.
I just swung the boomerang at people. Like, I'm like, this is just a bent sword.
If I wanted to do that, I just use a sword.
Look, I was just using garbage in my inventory. Sometimes you get into those caves that have the fucking rocks everywhere,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, fuck it, put a rock on my boomerang. I'm just gonna smash through the goddamn wall.
I know if you attach like one of the plane things to it, like I forget what they're called. They're
The birds?
the Zonai device things.
The
like
wing?
the wings. If you attach that to it, they fly. They go further.
Oh,
Wow.
that.
What a 0 out of 10 game mechanic.
That's
Yeah, I was
really-
gonna say that's
Further
really
and
cool.
faster.
I don't think I've
I'll
ever
see you
seen
guys
that.
later. I gotta go try this.
I only knew that because the game told me.
Yeah, no.
You can make a robot glide.
Yeah, but why would you want to do that? Just put the fan on the back.
Because it's fucking... Dude,
Jake, we don't all have hover bikes, okay?
No, you don't need a hover bike for this. You put a fan on the back of the robot, and your Gundam ride armor will move faster. It'll wiggle with little tiny legs.
I do like the idea of Jacob on a hover bike just strolling into town like he's a space cop.
yeah, pretty much.
What's the situation? What's got to be stabbed?
I can literally go anywhere.
Yeah, no, because the fans don't break.
Whatever.
I have to unlock one last game, Great Fairy.
Which one?
The ice one.
Oh, where you gotta dig the man out of a hole.
I don't know yet.
Fuck
Oh.
that dude.
Fuck
The
that
only reason I
guy.
haven't done it is because I'm like, these are going to be such a resource sink by the fourth one. I don't have anywhere near enough resources. Because some of us played the right way.
Wait, what resources?
The stuff to upgrade.
Yeah,
the
you know
upgrade
how
the
you-
armor.
How you need like 1,000,000 silver Lionel things just for the Zonai armor?
Oh,
They were like, hey, you need 8 fish. I was like, why do I need 8 fish? That's stupid. Make my armor better.
Like, it's worse for the horse. I actually got one of my horses killed. I got the gold horse killed.
You get Zola's horse killed?
Yeah.
It's fucked up, dude.
It got knocked off a cliff.
What the fuck? She's going to be pissed.
I went to the horse god and he's like, yo, just give me a carrot. And so I had to go do a side quest to get that carrot because I didn't know where the fuck to get the carrot.
one Endura carrot?
Yeah.
I had like 20.
I
I
think
didn't
my-
dupe them either.
I think my
It's
favorite
Swift.
thing
It would have
about
been weird if you would have. They're like, why? I gotta have all these carrots. So I can make max stamina potions, sort of.
my favorite thing about the horse god is like you don't just pay him money; you have to bring him fucking meals.
That
And-
pissed me off.
And like he's like, oh, if you bring me a meal, I can increase your horse's stats. So I'm like, okay. Well, since it carried over my big horse from the last game, like increase his stats. And he's like, this horse doesn't want its stats increased. I'm like, well then fuck you.
Well,
You're already
half
making
the
it
stats
hard.
don't exist on that horse.
You're already making it hard to increase stats on something that's kind of obsolete. I'm just gonna go.
Yeah, I'm just like, I've already got a horse that it's got 5 pull on it.
Yeah,
So
all my
like,
horses were terrible, apparently. Except for one named A First, which was really good. And I don't know why his name was A First. But yeah, my horse Jaggy, awful. Horse Blind Pew, terrible.
I had a horse named Darknut, spelled Darqnudt. That was probably my best horse. And then I got the big Ganon horse, and I named it Darknut 2 because I'm creative.
I'm still upset you can't register a Skelly horse.
Yeah, that sucked.
can you find those
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
overworld?
Wait, they
Yeah.
can find them above ground?
I found one in the depths.
Yeah, you found him above ground.
Okay. Because I knew you could find them above ground in Breath of the Wild. I just
Yeah.
never saw one.
Because I had one, and there's a guy in one of the stables that wants to see one.
Oh,
I never brought it to him because I was like,
that's
yeah,
a lot of work.
I was like, yeah, hey man, is your prize a heart container? Because if your prize is not a heart container, I don't care. There's been a couple like mini games I've done where I'm like, okay, before I continue to do this, what is the prize to this?
I think every time I walk into a minigame thing, we're like, how far can you carry this rock? I'm like, don't give a shit. You're just gonna give me money.
Yeah.
Or opals.
And I'm like, I don't need any of this. If you're not gonna give me a heart container or whatever, I don't need to be here. I don't need to set the world on fire with my new record of rock carrying.
I unlocked the quest that gives you a heart container. I just haven't done it yet.
That quest sucks.
It sounded like it sucked.
Is that
It's-
the oddball one?
Yeah, that's the one where it's like, find my eyeballs, drop them down Ganon's hole, and then bring them to me.
Yeah,
And I'm
It's
like,
so long. It took me like
That's-
45 minutes.
That's why I didn't do it, because I started and I was like, this seems like this is going to be really tedious, and I don't care.
I could do 4 shrines.
Yeah, hey! And I
Well, by the time I did it, I had basically found all the easy shrines, so...
that's kind of where I'm at. Except I don't even have all the towers yet. Somehow, someway, I'm still missing one.
Really?
The first thing I did was get every tower. And then I just goofed off from that point. But...
did you guys find the lady with the wagon full of stuffed animals?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yes.
the plushies.
I hated that lady.
I was upset.
I did that too.
I wanted to fuse the stuffed animals to my weapon.
I actually lost money by the time I completed it.
I think
Really?
Yes.
I think I had like 19 out of 20, or I was missing one. And she's like, well, I guess you did it. You tried hard enough, so I'll give you your money back. I'm like, why did I need to give you money in the first place?
What was your fault?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but she was keeping the money as like insurance that I wouldn't like run off with one of her plushies.
Yeah.
And I'm like, lady, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to
You
pick
should
these
start
up.
doing that when you have people
lost
come
money,
over.
Aaron?
Yeah, if you don't do
You
it.
lost money? You were like, oh,
Yeah,
God.
well, because she gives you a silver rupee once you complete it, and by it took me like probably 6 attempts, so there's 140 rupees.
Okay, so what were you doing? Were you just like using Ultra Hand and grabbing them and pulling them back?
So I used the thing. There's like a shift thing down there that you could make like a platform with. So I put all the plushies onto that, and then I put them back up there into the cart.
Yeah, I just stacked the bitches on top of each other.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was using Ultra Hand and grabbing them one by one, and then
That's what I was using.
somebody's like, well, you can just use Recall and pull them back to the fucking thing. I'm like, oh.
So here's the thing about recall.
That pisses me off.
I never once thought. I don't know. Recall is probably my least used power. Just they never think about it.
It was always the one that it would hit me. I would sit there and be like, what the fuck do they want me to do? I'm like, wait, I can literally get this to do the opposite.
And then you would recall it, right?
I didn't think about
Yeah,
using
no.
recall in that moment because like I talked to her at like after it happened, so I didn't think I could actually recall it because it didn't happen like
I
you know.
really wanted to fuse the stuffed animals to my weapons.
I did it to my shield.
I mean, there's stuffed animals in Gerudo Town.
Yeah, but those weren't her stuffed animals.
Oh, that's fair.
No,
I'm stealing them, Jacob.
I actually thought you were going to use recall on Ganon and turn him back into the jerky Ganon.
That'd have been really fucked up.
Yeah, no,
That'd have been a really fucked up.
because when you get the power, Goatman's like, I think this is going to be really important, and I'm sitting there like, really, we're just gonna reverse Ganon back into jerky, and I'm like, that would make sense,
Aaron,
and then that didn't happen.
Did you get auto build yet?
Yeah, I found it on accident.
That's my favorite part of the game, entirely because Master Koga showed up, and anytime that guy shows up is a 10 out of 10 moment.
Yeah.
And I'm like, buddy, I don't want to fight you. I want to be friends.
Master Koga had a really good storyline in this one.
Listen, I played Age of Calamity. I know that we can be friends. We can do it.
I feel like you're not actually fighting him. I feel like you're just having a wrestling match every time he shows up. It's like
It's a build-off. That's what it is. It's
Oh, I didn't build shit. I just fucked with them.
Is there one more power?
No. There's the 4 powers.
The one you're probably missing is the camera.
Yeah.
No, I've got the camera.
So there's...
Are you missing the map?
It's 4 powers, camera, map.
Yeah, there's a map
Amiibo
option for some
and
reason.
all-
I hate that. I hate the map option.
Okay.
I don't know why there's I feel like they were just trying to fill a slot.
The map one was weird. I was just like, why does this even count? I can just open the map.
No, Phil. You gotta open the map through the wheel. That's what wheel winners do.
Fucking stupid.
You know,
That's
like
a
there's like
wheel
accidentally
winners
open
do?
it through the wheel, and I'm
That's
like,
what
how the
wheel
fuck
winners
do I get
do?
out of here?
Yeah.
Wheel winners open the
I
map.
always have a problem whenever I try to like.
A
A lot of times when I'm trying to scroll through the wheel really fast, I'll end up getting the wrong thing. And I'm like, no, I need to send, not Ultra Hand. Bad.
Oh,
go
dude.
go up.
The number of times I would actually open up auto build when I just wanted the hand, I was just like, yeah, are you fucking kidding me? It's pissing me off.
You know what? When I first started playing the game, because I only played Breath of the Wild for a brief minute. When I would build stuff, I would hit the wrong buttons. So I had a club and I had a bunch of wood, and I threw the club at the wood and I broke all the wood. And I was like, God damn it!
Yeah, I built a wooden car or something like that, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna hit this to go forward, and then it broke, and I'm like, oh. Well, sorry, Korok, buddy, you ain't going to your friend.
I don't even do the Koroks that are like, I need to get to my friend. I'm like, well, that sucks. You better call a taxi.
I wish
Half the time, I'm like, okay, what do I need to do? Can I just lift you
Yeah,
and
hey,
take
hey,
you there?
if
Then
I
I'll
can-
do it.
If I can carry you there, fine, whatever. We'll make it happen.
I wish
If
I
I
could add-
can't, and I gotta think.
Once you get a hover bike, easy.
No, what I ended up doing, there was one where I was like, okay, you need to go across this river, and I'm like, I'm searching through my shit, and I'm like, I've got a rocket. Do you want to be the first cosmonaut, my friend? Attached a rocket to him, smacked that shit, watched him fly across, smacked into the cliff, dropped down, and I'm like, well, that technically solved my problem. And he seemed fine with it. And then there was another one I dropped off a cliff, and he didn't come back, and I was just like,
I really do love the fact that this game is just a Korok torture simulator.
I think the worst thing I ever did to one was I just attached it to the thing that's on the horse to pull things. I'm just like, okay, we're going, but you're going to be dragged on the floor. You're not going to have a face when we get there, but you'll get there.
I always think it's funny, like people like they complain about the weapons breaking, and I'm like, I'm never short on weapons ever.
no, not in this game.
If anything, I'm always up weapons. I always have too many weapons.
I feel like they did improve that a lot.
I think my biggest issue was this, I was fine with weapons. It's just I used like 4 to kill a silver bokoblin. I'm like, oh boy, he gave me a stick. Oh boy, net gain for me, I guess. There goes 4 weapons.
Where the improvement came from is he gave you a material that would actually.
No, he gave me a stick. He gave me a club.
Well, he gave, but his horn.
But
can
I'm not
make a good
attaching
weapon.
his horn to things. That's stupid.
Tell me what you said about the rocks under with all the material that you just get the sword and the.
Oh yeah, so
I think it's a very valid point.
The cave thing. I brought it up earlier and nobody cared.
I didn't.
Where there's a whole bunch of rocks and.
I'm just drinking. I don't know what. I don't know what you all are staring.
Yeah, the one where they're like, okay, this is gonna suck.
Well, I heard you say I don't care, and then Jay like looked at Phil like.
Well, I didn't understand what he said. I thought he said Phil didn't.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay, well, what's Phil doing?
Well, I mean, I still don't understand entirely what you meant.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so you got these caves that got rocks in them that are breakable.
Yeah.
And you break some, and there's a claymore underneath.
That was
weird.
weird.
And then you break some more, and then there's just a big boulder that they intend for you to attach to said claymore that you just got.
That way you always have a club to break down.
Yeah, so you can just keep breaking it, because your claymore's going to break, but don't worry, there's another claymore underneath these rocks.
Because they have a problem, and the way they solved it was by giving you the resources to keep smashing these rocks.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, you could have just not had the rocks.
That becomes obsolete once you get Unobo, though.
No, it doesn't, because Unobo doesn't do enough fast enough.
Unobo is slow.
I just met him. He was wearing a sumo wrestler mask.
He's
or
great.
a luchador mask.
Did you like fighting him?
I didn't.
I forget what his boss title says.
To be 100% honest, I didn't quite understand what the difference between the times when he spun into the wall and got hurt and the times
clearly
when
not himself. That's what it says. Clearly not himself.
It was fighting him for me was weird because on the last hit I needed to get on him, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? I don't know what he's doing.
I never figured out exactly where he was supposed to smash in that would daze him.
Yeah.
I just kind of did, and I was like,
I just sidestepped him every time. I'm like, okay, well, there's a wall behind me, and you just hit this. It's fine.
We get it, Jacob. Everything sidesteps with you. You're the greatest Zelda player in the world.
No, I'm pretty bad at it, actually.
I felt like he was incredibly dumb, though, with, how, he thought Zelda was on his side. I'm like, clearly that's not
He's
Zelda.
brainwashed.
Everyone had
I know,
that
but,
problem.
a lot of
Not
them
the Zoras. The
It
Zoras
leaked-
didn't have that
leaked
problem. They
that
were like,
tone.
Zelda's kind of a bad person. She brought out this fucking sludge monster, and it just splooged all over the king.
I wasn't... I didn't realize until we were talking that Zelda was part of any of these other stages. Because I did not pay that much attention. A lot of times, yeah, whatever, let's go. Stab the monster.
Yeah. No, every time it's like, why is Zelda here? Oh no, she disappeared. It's like, I'm sitting there. I knew Zelda was fake from the beginning. Before the game even told me, it's like, this clearly isn't her.
Is she a Yiga clan member in disguise?
No, it's just Ganon and Dragon.
That would have been better.
It's a Ganon projection.
He's always making projections. God, ever since A Link to the Past, he's always doing it.
He just sends... It's not even like his minion. It's just like, it's a bunch of gloom. And it just turns into Zelda. And it's like, this is fucking weird.
Does that have a good boss fight?
No, because it's just...
Because it just turns into Phantom Ganon.
Yeah, it's
Okay, but that Phantom Ganon fight's actually unique.
It's like 4 Phantom Ganons all joining up against you, and it's really dumb.
It's not great.
Gives you a heart container.
Ooh.
Just like any other major boss fight.
I actually was really shocked. I was like, holy shit, this is actually a boss fight. Because I went into that thinking it was going to be the final boss fight.
Oh, I didn't.
I went into Hyrule Castle early, and I was like, okay, got good news and bad news. Bad news, Ganon, or good news, Ganon hasn't jumped me yet, like he did in Breath of the Wild. Bad news, Ganon hasn't jumped me yet. I don't know where he is.
See, I went into Hyrule Castle thinking, okay, 1, Ganon hasn't jumped me yet. 2, God, this theme sucks compared to Breath of the Wild.
Oh, man, the Hyrule Castle got fucking decimated. It's so awful.
It got
Why don't
nerfed.
you try using Recall on it?
It took too long. You only get like half an hour per recall. But no, they took the best dungeon from Breath of the Wild and they said, fuck it, it's trash now. Have fun.
Yeah.
And then they're like, go find Zelda in the castle. I'm like, that's cool. But like, you're not putting her in places where I would go like take a route. You're just moving her around. Like,
Yeah, you're talking about the part where she trolls you?
yeah, it's like, oh,
Yeah,
she's
I hate
out
that.
in the guard shack. Now she's in the basement. Now she's in the throne room, but now she's in the basement again. I'm like, this isn't a route that I would normally take. This is just go outside and find the hole that she's in.
The dumbest part was, like, you don't see her running from place to place, so it's like, it just gets more and more obvious that it's like, this isn't her. Stop following her. You're being a moron. But I think Link is just like, every time I find her, she spawns monsters. That's cool.
The thing that annoyed me is, like, that was the best theme from Breath of the Wild, and they reused so many themes in Tears of the Kingdom, but they took the best one out from Breath of the Wild.
Well, the problem is that the castle's all broken.
So this is not a problem at all.
I'm just still more or less upset that the fact that they just ruined the whole dungeon. Just the whole layout's bad.
I understand it's not like a main, like, you know,
Well, Jacob, they put an actual dungeon in this game, so naturally
it wasn't their main, like, you know, like, thing they were trying to tackle was Hyrule Castle.
The main thing I would say is that they made the smart decision to make
actual Ganondorf.
Well, yes, but
And they made him hot.
They made an effort to use the unique aspects of this game to and actually incorporate them into, like, getting to a dungeon or
it's just a shame that the dungeons were all do a thing 4 times.
Well, that was the problem, is that the dungeons themselves, like the temples, weren't that good. They were all just kind of small, and I think that's partly because they kind of had to be, but also just, I don't know.
Listen, when you made it 158 tiny dungeons, okay? When you get to the actual dungeons, you're like, fuck, man, is it lunchtime yet? I'm tired.
There was a part of me that's like, there are 2 people making puzzles in this game. One of which is not very creative, and the other of which might be a little too creative. And I'm sometimes
they meet in
like...
the middle and they play rock, paper, scissors over...
And I'm like...
No, my favorite dungeon maker guy was the one who's just like, fuck it, it's a blessing shrine. Just walk in, get your shit, and leave.
Thank God some of those were just like...
My favorite one, though, is like unlit blessing or something like that. You walk in, you're like, ah, sweet, this is gonna be a really easy one. And then as soon as you get to the thing, it just fucking, like, rotates 90 degrees and just falls straight down. And it's just like, oh, I got a fucking light torch. It's, oh...
One thing I haven't said yet is I really like how, like, connected this world is.
It feels real. Like, unlike Breath of the Wild, which just was like, yeah, there's like one town and another town to be built and some stables. Like, this one at least feels like people live there.
Yeah, but I'm talking about, like, okay, so, like, in marketing, the thing that I think was weird is, like, in marketing they felt like, they said, like, oh, we're going to the sky. Like, I kind of like how they did with Skyward Sword, and I'm like, okay, but the sky in this game is, like, how many islands? Like,
there's a lot of them, just nothing's up there.
It's so barren.
But the real thing they didn't tell us about was the depths was just, and it's a whole nother freaking Hyrule.
Yeah, and there's a whole lot of nothing down there. There's some Froxes, oh boy.
There's a whole lot of nothing, but...
It's a cool nothing.
But the cool part is that it's worth exploring, because... what I found was that all the light routes that were easy to find tended to correspond to shrines that I did not find.
I didn't figure that out either.
Versa.
Until like halfway.
The easy to find shrines were the light routes that I had trouble finding.
Jake
so
told me, he was like, hey, stupid. The light routes are shrines. And I was like, oh. And he's like, yeah. Just try not being so stupid.
I had that same thing, and I was like, oh my god. And they were just like, look at the map, look carefully. I'm like, what? And I'm like, fuck.
It's like toggle between the upper and lower levels.
Me and Darren were like, I don't understand, Jacob. We're toggling. It doesn't...
Well, so my biggest problem with that is I didn't really explore the depths a lot until late game.
I kept finding myself down there. Like, I was like, man, I should probably not be down here right now. And then I'm like, oh, but I'm back down here 5 minutes later.
Every time I dropped down there, the main thing I did was I would just pick up everything, because I would either get bombs or...
Ghosts. Just trade for bombs.
Yeah, but the stuff I could pick up, the puff shrooms and the whatever flowers, they sold for 10 rupees a piece, because I wasn't duping shit. So I was just like... I'm just going to go down here, I'm going to collect a bunch of shit, and I'm going to sell it all, because that gives me money.
I just sell the rocks I find. Like the opal.
Yeah, but you need the rocks.
What do I need opal for?
I don't
Shut
know.
up.
There probably is something.
you
Wind Waker tunic set.
You can put it on magic
I don't even
rods.
have that.
Well, go get it. It's one of the best Zelda games.
You can put opals on rods, and I think they have a water element.
Oh. Why? Oh, because the sapphires would be ice.
Yeah.
Sapphire rods are incredibly good.
I have an electric spear right now.
I don't like using rods.
I didn't use rods. I used them as clubs.
I saw a video of a guy using a sapphire rod, and then he froze the enemies, and then he hit them with like a boulder type weapon, and they like one shot. He like one shotted him.
I saw a guy. He froze one of the big boss bokoblins, and then he put a cage over it, and he attached a bunch of rockets to it.
Yeah, the way you can torture shit in this game is just funny.
So he had built like a catapult with the little like things that like they make the things stick in the ground.
Oh, like the stakes?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, not the stakes. The one like the balancer.
Oh, yeah.
So
he
he made it-
activated and it.
I think it's called a
Stands.
stabilizer.
Yeah, the stabilizer. So he had he froze all these enemies, and he like used a leaf to blow them onto the catapult, and then he hit the catapult, and the enemy just goes fucking flying.
I don't know. My favorite one was the guy who made like the Looney Tunes fucking contraption, where he disarmed the thing, the bokoblin, and he stuck a weapon to it, so the bokoblin would grab it, and then it would drop a crate full of bombs on it,
Nice.
and then it did like the smallest pixel of damage. I'm like, wow, that was a lot of setup for something that really didn't do anything.
He put a big spring. He used the bokoblin mask to put a big spring behind one of the bokoblins, and then he just hit it, and then it just fucking chopped it.
I think my favorite one I saw was a guy who made a cuckoo egg farm. He put like an entire contraption around it, and then he attacked a cuckoo, and there was like 15 of them in there, and then they all just started popping out eggs, and he would just sit there and collect like hundreds of eggs.
What are the eggs? Are they just the eggs have some special?
So when you attack in these games, when you attack a cuckoo,
No, he's asking about the eggs.
Yeah,
What do the eggs do?
Yeah.
You can make
You
soup.
could sell them.
you can make
Make
meals.
soup with
I think they sell for 10 rupees, so
Yeah,
like that's.
and
not
they make
bad.
good meals.
Remember, if you hold the cuckoo and get hit by an enemy, the cuckoos will attack the enemy.
Oh, nice.
I didn't know that.
I don't usually carry cuckoos.
I mean, that was a thing in Breath of the Wild. Like, I remember seeing a video of somebody throwing one at a swarm of geese.
That's funny.
So the Revenge Squad just took out the whole swarm of geese.
That's
I'm
ridiculous.
gonna take one to Ganon with me.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah,
The,
they probably
uh,
despawn.
The Ganon Gauntlet is very long.
It's also got cutscenes. It would probably remove your cuckoo. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Do you have to refight all the bosses?
No.
Well-
No, you don't have to refight them because
Do you have to refight the thing before Ganondorf? I don't think so. I think you just can go right down into Ganondorf.
You mean
The monster
the
forces?
gauntlets.
demon army or whatever?
Yeah.
That
No,
was
you have
actually
to fight the demon army again if you want to fight Ganondorf.
That's dumb.
It really is.
Why? I don't want to do that.
Because that's the easiest. Because when you get past that point, you're blocked off from everything.
I don't want to hear Tulin say he's the one that beat Colgera, because it wasn't.
There's
Yeah.
a monster army?
Yeah, it's just a gauntlet. It's like, hey, what if we were what if we were Age of Calamity, but bad?
It basically because they made a point of like, here's a health bar for a large number of enemies. They just do that,
Yeah.
and it's like you're fighting the demon King's army.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
it's just a whole bunch of bokoblins, and then
It
when you kill those,
It needed to be more.
some moblins show up, and when you kill those, like some Gibdos show up, and it's like, oh boy.
It's
Then
a
the
lot
bosses
of
show
them. It just doesn't. It's just like a couple orders of magnitude too small.
When that happened, I thought we actually had to fight the bosses again, because I was like, oh.
If you
If
No,
you
I mean,
go there early. I
yeah,
assume.
you already
Yeah.
know that though.
One thing
So
I'm glad.
basically, if you don't get this, you have to fight every boss for those stages you don't have.
Yeah.
One
It's
thing
just
I-
like what they did in Breath of the Wild.
One thing I'm glad they did not do in this game was just if you did the 4 dungeons, they didn't cut Ganondorf's health bar in half. Do you remember that from Breath of the
Yeah, I
Wild?
remember
No,
that.
that was really good. That was
No,
good.
it's stupid. Why did they do that?
I heard that the more memories you have, the more health that Ganondorf has in Phase 2.
That's
awesome.
funny.
That's awesome. I
In
like
Breath of the
that.
Wild.
No, in Tears of the Kingdom.
But don't you have to do the memories before you fight Ganondorf
No.
in this game, though?
No, you don't have to get the Master
Oh,
Sword or
that's
anything.
right.
Yeah.
So wait,
Well, I thought you had to have... Oh, you automatically get the Master Sword for the Demon Dragon, though.
Probably.
I mean,
Because Zelda would come to you.
There's probably a cutscene where it's like, oh wow, convenient.
Yeah.
I know this isn't gonna line up, but when you said the more memories you had, before I think did the 3DS shop shut down prior to Tears of the Kingdom coming out?
Yes.
Yeah. And
One was if they were like, we're kind of pissed at the completionists for buying every single game on this, so we're gonna do an update into the Ganon fight, where it's like, oh yeah, all you completionists that have to do everything prior to the fight, well guess what? Now you have to do it longer now.
Have a bad time forever.
That teaches you for buying hard games.
Oh man, imagine if each Korok that you got added like 5 health.
That
to them.
would be funny.
Oh!
You walk in like, yeah, I got all 1,000 Koroks. What's up? And Ganondorf's health bar just continually goes on.
I love that it went further. That made me laugh.
I was looking at my TV like, is it going to keep going?
I was
be
worried it
funnier
didn't stop.
that if they took into account for the duplication glitch, and they're like, yeah, we know you're not supposed to have it, so this bar just keeps going.
Yeah, like The Witcher, like what they did, where like, oh, you got all that money and whatnot.
Yeah,
Here comes the tax man.
Yeah, the goblin.
You weren't supposed to get all that. Here you go.
So, the Zelda Dragon exists independently of the memories, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So could you get the Master Sword from the Zelda Dragon without doing...
I think getting the memories kind of like puts her in a place where you can actually find her.
Yeah, because before that she's like really high.
I was going to say, I never saw her before.
I saw her. You see her in the beginning of the game.
But yeah,
she's in the Great Sky Island.
I'm sure if you've got enough battery, you can build your hover bike and go.
She's
over there.
always there from the start of the game.
That's crazy.
And it's implied that she's always been there. It's kind of weird. That's kind of the thing of like.
Well, yeah, she had to exist for
10,000 years.
Well, quote
like,
unquote.
because that's kind of where it implies where the early events of Tears of the Kingdom started was like 10,000 years.
They just say thousands though.
It's weird, and it's
not that weird. It's not the first time she's done this.
She's time traveled.
She is
before.
the Sage of Time.
She's time traveled before for dumber reasons.
Yeah, remember that time she got put in tree sap for like 1,000,000 years?
Was that in
What?
Skyward Sword?
Yeah, Skyward Sword.
It's tree sap?
It's like
Yeah.
it's like amber or some shit like that.
Oh, that's weird.
Nobody played Skyward Sword, Jacob.
Two
That's
of us
true.
did.
That's true. Well, I
You're
mean,
gonna
yeah.
make me do it at some point.
I mean,
Well, partially because I want to know.
I've never heard anything good about it.
Groose.
Groose is the one thing I hear, and
There's a pirate
I
ship,
like-
and it's really cool.
I like Zelda's characterization in.
What else does it
in
have?
but-
Nothing else.
Not good controls.
There's the ancient cistern. There's a part where you get to rip a man's arm off and use his arms as weapons.
Jacob, Skyward Sword killed traditional Zelda.
You get to escape from
That's
jail
fine.
in that dungeon.
That's fine.
I saw a bunch of people online that were upset that Tears of the Kingdom is so successful because like we're never gonna get another traditional Zelda game.
I don't know why people.
I just want a smaller.
There were also people that were like, "This is too much like Breath of the Wild." I'm like, I don't know how you saw any of this and didn't think this was gonna be exactly like Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
I don't know how you came to that conclusion.
Do people also not know how business works? Look at how much Breath of the Wild works. Did you not think a game like that was going to get a sequel?
Breath of the Wild created more Breath of the Wild games. Like, its success inspired other games to go in that direction.
Okay, Ocarina of Time was one of the best-selling games. Then Wind
I
Waker
don't
did
know if
poorly.
It was best selling.
It was one of the best-selling. Then they
highest-
did Wind Waker.
It was highest rated.
Then Wind Waker came out. That did poorly. That pissed Miyamoto off. And then they were like, Aonuma was like, I want to make a sequel to Wind Waker. Miyamoto was like, fuck no.
Wind Waker sold like 7 million copies on a system that sold 22 million copies.
It did not sell 7 million.
I'll look it up right now. It's at least 5.
Okay,
Are we all looking this up?
I thought about it.
I saw two people.
I'm
pull their
actually more
phones up.
concerned about how well Ocarina of Time sold.
I know it was the best-selling.
7.89 million copies.
Well,
I'm
it
pretty
depends
sure.
You may be right with 7 million, but I know it wasn't like up to their standards. I know it
Boot
undersold.
sales.
Excuse me?
I know Wind Waker
I put in
undersold.
OOT sales.
Oh.
Yeah, it sold 7.4 million over its entire run.
A Wind Waker?
No,
Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina of Time. But remember, Ocarina of Time's been put on every single Nintendo console since the N64. With the exception of the Game Boy Advance and the DS.
So 7 million, that's kind of poor, actually.
Again,
Wait, but
No, on
No,
Nintendo
two-
64,
Are
that
they
was actually
talking-
really good.
They're talking 7 million over.
On Nintendo 64,
For
7
every-
million is actually
No,
really
that's
good.
just on the N64 version.
That's a lot.
It says over its entire run, so...
I assume its entire, like, print. Like, the cards being.
I think Wind Waker only sold like 3 or 4 million.
4 million.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Twilight
But again,
Princess
there's
sold
a-
like 10 million.
No, Twilight Princess sold. Actually, Twilight Princess. But
Tw-
again,
Twilight
there's a
Princess was on the
difference.
Wii.
There's a difference. There's 22 million GameCubes that were sold. There's 100 million Wiis that are sold. Like you can't. Do
It also came out the first day.
yes.
That the
you
Wii
can't-
was sold. So a lot of
you
people.
can't do the numbers like that because it's like, Super Mario Bros. Really outsold Super Mario 3D World. Like, yeah, the Wii U sold 13 million copies. Like that's.
It also was advertised as Ocarina of Time too.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that it was what people wanted at the time.
Because people are stupid and
Yes,
they don't
they are.
realize like.
Yeah, they're because Wind Waker is objectively an amazing game. It's not a game that I necessarily love to play. Like I like parts of it, but it looks so much better. It aged so much better.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize, like, in Breath of the Wild, there had never been a Zelda game that sold more than 10 million copies.
While we're on the topic of art style, I do not like these games' art styles. I think they look like shit.
I like them.
I think you're crazy.
It's not my favorite art style.
I think
It's not quite the bottom.
I'm sorry he doesn't turn into a wolf, Aaron.
That's not even my favorite part of the game, but okay.
I can't believe that the fucking when I picked up the sorry, I just want to get this out of the way. When you pick up the fucking
Sorry, there's not 3 links.
the Twilight Princess.
But there was more. But there were 6 links.
When you pick up the Twilight Princess tunic and it's lined with dog hair, as underneath it, I'm like,
Oh, really?
Yeah, it
That's
says it in the
weird.
description.
I didn't know that.
Also, they took out Wolf Link.
They did take because
No, Wolf Link's still in the game. You put the amiibo down and some meat falls out.
That's it. They took him out.
Because in the other one it was like,
He was a companion.
Yeah.
But now he's just...
did he suck?
well, you don't need
Now he's
to
some
make-
prime meat.
I never actually used him.
Okay, that's what I thought.
It was also based. I actually learned this a few weeks ago. It was the number of hearts that Wolf Link had was actually based off how many hearts you had in Twilight Princess HD.
We can all agree that Wolf Link is like the weirdest Zelda gimmick, right?
Yeah.
No,
What do you think?
there's worse.
No, I said weirdest.
Weirdest.
I didn't say worse. I said weirdest.
I mean,
Just
it's
think
not
about it. Just
that
think about it.
weird considering he was a rabbit back in the 90s.
You're right.
Yeah.
You did
I was
become a
thinking-
rabbit.
I was thinking
A
of
rabbit that
weirder.
couldn't do shit.
But like, it's just like it's such a. But that wasn't a marketing point. They weren't like, and in this game, Link becomes a rabbit.
Well, just think if Nintendo was a little
That was
bit
actually
more,
a joke.
more
really.
towards the X-rated, they go, Link has a butthole now.
No, they do the same thing they do in Stray, and he would never lift his tail.
Yeah.
Like,
I
I
guess,
just think that's such a weird marketing. Like, and in this one, he becomes a dog.
and he
What?
gets rode by a girl.
Yeah, who's
I
actually.
mean, I agree. Wolf Link kind of sucks. In
Who's
Twilight
who's a
Princess.
little imp, but she's actually a sexy lady.
Anyway,
And this new villain, well, it's actually Ganondorf. Don't listen to him. He's not important.
we're not going to tell you how he got the Triforce of Power. That's up for your interpretation.
They don't even bring up the Triforce anymore. Nobody has the Triforce. It's just
No, Zelda's got it.
Zelda's got possibly a piece of the Triforce,
I
but
think she's just got all of it.
and then nobody talks about it because apparently it didn't let her come back from being a dragon. That required 2 dead people.
that's
and
honestly
harm.
what I thought was going to happen. Because I always thought she was probably not going to stay a dragon. I was like, my guess is this game ends with Zelda becoming people again.
Yeah.
They use
I was-
recall.
I was really...
They do use recall. Recall only works when the plot allows it to.
I was really upset about that, because I'm like, man, just let her be a dragon for the rest of time.
I
No,
couldn't
people
deal
like
with that.
You
this
like that
Zelda,
banana dragon,
which
don't
is
you?
Weird. Her voice actor seems better in this one. It's the
It
same.
sounds
but-
like an American really trying to sound like British.
There's a lot of characters in this game that like go into like. There's some where the British accent's really heavy, and then there's Riju where it like disappears half the time, and I'm just like, pick an accent,
They're like,
please.
"Hello, governor. God save the queen." And
I-
all
I-
that. And I'm like,
I wish they just went full on British like that.
I have to
that's
rant.
my least
You gotta
favorite
go
part about
full-
Xenoblade.
I do have to rant for a
Full on
second.
Xenoblade, just go there.
It's the same people. It's fine. It's
Gotta
fine.
fight this robot, governor.
I do. I
Wait, is
have
the
to rant.
governor robot? Or
No, they just say
Is it-
governor. That's
is
just...
the robot a governor?
Could be.
Is it a robotic governor?
Okay. The important question: who would you guys have voted for mayor, CC or Reed?
I mean, the man wanted. To
I don't
make-
know who Reed is.
You didn't do the mayor election?
He was the current mayor.
I have to think about.
He was.
Are you guys on the side of fucking fashion or vegetables?
Look, he was gonna make high fashion vegetables. He was gonna put like fucking floral prints on pumpkins.
I think I would have voted for CC because I just wanted that hat. I mean, if you give me a cool stylish hat, I'm like, I'll vote.
Yeah, Reed wasn't handing out hats.
I mean,
No, he was handing out pizza recipes.
I'm kind of more of a foodie, so I'm gonna have to go with Reed.
I don't think I got the pizza recipe.
Considering what you're telling me, it's like I'd probably vote for CC because the guy sounds crazy.
Free hat.
I never got crazy vibes from it. It just sounded like the only reason I probably wouldn't vote for him is he kind of gave off the vibe that he would do anything to win.
He did feel like a dictator.
Well,
So maybe not. Maybe not.
I don't know. I wasn't a big fan. Just hey, we're gonna put fucking mushroom art everywhere. Mushrooms are our
That's
life
why.
now, and I'm like,
Jacob, she's the top fashion designer.
at least she's not putting it on food. That's the part where I'm like, you're going too far.
Yeah.
she's just putting it on your house.
At least it's on my house.
Can I get a mushroom on my house?
Hey,
probably not.
I'm just gonna say this: the mushroom physics or the mushroom hat, fucking best physics in that game. It wiggles.
Gross.
Shut
I'm
up.
wearing it right now.
Okay, well, we're almost 2 hours in. Anybody got anything?
I had to rant about one thing real quick.
Okay.
I do like this Ganondorf quite a bit.
Yes, the ponytail.
I like his fight. I do think it's the best Ganondorf fight
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far.
in the series. Which is better?
Yeah, I was gonna
The
say.
baseball one.
What do you think?
Honestly,
Do you like playing table tennis?
Baseball.
Honestly, I would have given it to
Ocarina
Twilight
of Time
Princess. I think that's a better fight. That one feels.
You like fighting a Dark Knight?
Yeah, it was fine.
I like the Dark Beast Ganon fight in that game. I think that
I
was
like
good.
the Ocarina of Time one when he smashes the castle and then all of a sudden he's like, I have merged with the castle to become Ganon Beast.
To be fair, every time you fight Ganondorf, he always refuses to take an L. So like,
Guy's a jerk.
okay, no, he took his L in Wind Waker.
I mean, to be fair, there's not really a whole lot you can do once you get turned into stone.
That's why Ganondorf as a character is like top to 10.
What
out of 10
happens if they pull him out of the, and they just went over, pulled him out, and didn't use him as a weapon?
I was kind of thinking that myself. But yeah, no, I fused Ganondorf to the Master Sword. I can break rocks with it.
But the only thing I really didn't like is like, when like you're getting ready to fight him, and did anybody feel like his rant was like kind of haterish and like really edgy?
No, I thought his rant was really stupid. He's like, I fucking hate peace. I'm gonna take over
This
the world.
world is filled with light.
that was-
I must destroy it.
His speech about like these people don't know what war is, and I'm gonna plunge this world into war. I'm like, stop being a really shitty Wind Waker Ganondorf.
No,
you're not interested.
What I was
anymore.
gonna say is,
He
like,
just wants a fight.
he's like,
Yeah.
I fucking hate peace. Peace is the worst. Everything is going to be united under me, so it'd be peaceful.
Yeah, no.
Except just monsters instead of humans.
Well, but assume the monsters.
What's his tax policy? What are his policies? He's always like, I'm gonna conquer everything. Like, and then what?
Yeah, no, there really is no follow through. He's just like, I'm gonna take over the world, but I assume that people are gonna fight me, so I'm gonna focus on that. And I'm gonna win this fight by becoming a dragon.
That was a desperation move.
Yeah, but I'm just gonna say, like,
He would have never ruled
if,
anything.
If
though.
he had won as the dragon, would anything have happened?
No,
Yeah,
because
does he eat a stone? Is that what?
Yeah, he's like he's
He
like,
eats a stone. He turns
So this
into a
is
dragon.
basically like the Oracle games when they bring him back as a mindless beast.
yeah, pretty much.
essentially, yeah, it just would have been like the Calamity all over again.
Great, now our king's a dragon. That's fucking stupid.
Well, considering how essentially mindless Zelda Dragon was,
What
he
does he
just
say
went
at the
around
end of the Oracle
crying
games?
everywhere
What?
with a
I
sword in
must
her head.
destroy. What does he say at the end of the Oracle games?
Jacob, where's your... Don't you have that?
Yeah, I got it over there. Oh, gotta do a little limbo. Oh, there we go.
Well, that was just so funny. He just took out the whole computer.
No,
I must
understand.
destroy it. Something like that.
Yeah, destroy all, kill all.
Cool. Iconic.
I mean, hey, they put it on a thing.
They could not resurrect his mind.
I'm just saying,
What
like,
if, like, you got to Ganondorf?
Jake?
No, I think you just need to minimize it.
Okay, thank God.
Oh no, 2 whole hours of stuff gone.
That would have sucked.
Alright, everybody remember what you said. 'Cause we're gonna do it again.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to... Good rehearsal, everybody.
Yeah.
What
I
if you
remember
got to
it.
Gandalf and then it turns out the main villain was the Windfish? And all of a sudden...
I mean, the Windfish is an asshole.
guy's a jerk.
Did you guys actually like this story?
No.
I liked it.
I liked it.
I thought it felt like a discounted Ocarina of Time.
It felt like, hey, we're gonna play all the greatest hits.
It was very...
yeah.
It was...
Yeah.
It was...
We don't have an original story to tell aside from Zelda becoming a dragon.
Listen, I'm just saying that they have knocked original stories out of the park twice. Wind Waker and Majora's Mask. Every other time I'm like, man, why are you talking? Why are you talking still? Can I just go stab Ganondorf and we can stop talking?
No, like, the biggest thing was, like, I'm sitting there...
What's your favorite story, Aaron?
Story?
It's gotta be Majora's Mask, right?
In terms of story, yeah, I mean, okay.
I think Majora's Mask is the only time they've ever been like, story's gonna be our
Majora's
focus.
Mask, the thing I like about Majora's Mask is it's just so unique. Like, it's...
Yeah, you put masks on and you're like, I'm a Deku scrub. How come they're not one of the major races in this game, guys?
That shit was made in a year, too.
Because they got fused with...
That took them a year. This game took them 6 years.
No, they got fused with
And
the
you know what? Majora's Mask sold 4 million copies, and Tears of the Kingdom sold 10 million in 3 days.
Yeah, but you see, the 4 million is symbolic, as 4 is like death and whatnot. In
That's
Japan.
true.
It's symbolic.
Sin 64.
Long story short, I like this Ganondorf, but he's kind of edgy, and he's very much a hater.
I mean,
Well, he did spend like 1,000 years as just
He's very devoted, though.
as just like a
like-
hate creature.
Well,
He just aspires
He's
to be
only
the
been-
best.
He's only been people for like 6 months, canonically.
Well,
Yeah, I don't even know if he was really people. You saw the way his face contorted.
Yeah, no, that was...
Yeah,
that was
he
the
kinda
makings
just
of a
crumbled
monster. No, my favorite part is that he's at an absolute weeb.
My favorite part is the face he makes in one of the cutscenes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was real good because Aaron and I were like, "Yo, Phil, you need to find memory number 7
We got that live.
or 9 or
Yeah,
whatever."
I was in the middle of doing the Tears quest when we all decided to hop into a PSN call, and they were like, "You need to see this one," and I got it, and then his face just like stretched, and I lost my mind.
Not since the robotic cat thing from Elden Ring had we had such a
Oh, yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
It was really good shared laughter.
That and the Mikolash fight when we were essentially carrying Caleb through Bloodborne.
I even lost my shit at Mikolash, too. I'm pretty sure when you guys were helping me play Bloodborne.
Yeah, but this
it got really stupid when we were doing it.
I was mimicking him, and we were having a blast. It was sad that it wasn't recorded. I probably tried to recreate it a little bit when we were doing it, but there's no way I can recapture that. Anyway,
Since they've said that they're going to continue this style of Zelda, I don't hate that idea. I just, please, for the love of God, don't do this Hyrule again.
Make it small.
It's
I want-
I'm tired
did you
of
see,
it.
Aaron, here's the thing. They were like, we're going to continue this because I got this really big sack full of cash. So I'm just going to keep doing this until this sack stops being quite so big.
Miyamoto does
You know,
love his bags from
The
Zelda.
thing is, and it's might just because like I only played Breath of the Wild once, like 5 years ago. So like it being the same Hyrule didn't mean anything to me because it was like I played this game one time. So like that was just like one of those things. Where it was like, yeah, if I see, I guess if you had played it multiple times. I don't know how many times Phil played it. And I don't know how many times you played it. Did you
Breath of the
play it?
Wild?
Yeah.
I did two playthroughs of regular, and then I did one playthrough on the Wii U when it came out, and then I bought a Switch in 2018.
That's like 4 too many playthroughs.
I was gonna say I did
I
it
honestly
twice.
couldn't imagine playing Breath of the Wild more than once.
I did it 3 times.
I did it. The second time I did it was when they put out the hard mode because I needed.
Yeah, okay. And so I guess it's like one of those things where, like I don't think the Hyrule being the same is that big of a problem if every game's coming out 6 years apart and it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I saw people replaying Breath of the Wild before Tears came. I'm like, don't do that.
Dude, you know what's really weird?
Don't.
Breath of the Wild is selling really well right now and I can't figure out why.
Well, is it like high up on the eShop again?
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's artificial. I think
No, it's also high up on like...
Instead of selling it for $1.
Because I follow like the actual like Nintendo Live posts like the sales charts every week.
Gotcha.
For Japan and the UK, and it's like the top 3 to top 10 every week. And I'm like, guys, you're buying an obsolete video game.
Yeah.
You're making a mistake because you're gonna if you play Tears of the Kingdom and then Breath of the Wild, I couldn't even imagine. Like we were really at the point where I'm like, I couldn't imagine playing Breath of the Wild again.
Nope.
The mechanics are so less.
Yeah. No. Tears of the Kingdom.
Cryogenal or whatever the fuck.
Every power.
Cryonesis.
Every fucking.
Ice powers. You can make a fucking little pillar of ice.
You can make icicle blocks, though.
Fuck that shit. No, every power in this game is infinitely more useful and interesting.
You can do so much more.
Map's not very interesting.
Well, no, because technically that just wasn't a power.
Camera's not very cool either.
No, well...
But you can take pictures of enemies and then get statues of them built.
What?
Yes.
Oh, we have to end
Why?
this. We have to end this now.
You can also upgrade your shrine sensor to sense enemies.
Yeah, but you could do that in.
See what
in
I
Breath of
did
the
is
Wild.
I just got ridiculously rich, and then I just bought all the pictures because I didn't want to take pictures.
I also did that.
Hello, good sir. I'll take you a picture of your finest Lionel for my apartment.
I did take a selfie with Ganondorf though. I had to do that. It's in my house.
Can you
I
get,
forgot to
can
do
you get a statue of Ganondorf?
Yeah, you can get a statue of Ganondorf.
Oh, that's what I would do. And they'd be like, "What the fuck is? That's weird."
No.
Didn't you kill him?
If I want a statue, I want a statue of Noodle Ganon.
Link's starting to act weird.
You
He's
can
got,
get the
addicted
Dragon
to
Ganondorf,
statue.
too.
That'd be sick. Then I put it on my sword.
Can you fuse your statues with stuff?
Oh wow, I thought they were just gonna be like marble. I didn't expect them to actually.
Statues are cool.
It's like an Animal Crossing decoration.
It's for your house.
Zelda, Link, why do we have all these fucking statues of Ganondorf? No!
He's so cool. He's like, it was my hardest fight ever. Had to do it.
Why aren't you wearing pants right now?
I mean, something was hard. All right, time to go.
he needs to ditch the ponytail.
Are we giving this
If
a
you're,
score?
gonna, if you're gonna say we need to go, don't sit there and stop.
No,
Just like
because we need to give this arbitrary points, and then we can leave.
Okay.
um,
It's 9.5.
I was
Okay.
okay, Jake. I usually go first. This time I want you to go first.
I was gonna give it an 8.
Okay.
An 8. I give Breath of the Wild a 6, man.
I thought you gave it a 7.
No,
Never forget, Jacob once told me that Sonic Frontiers was better than Breath of the Wild.
Sonic Frontiers knew when to shut the fuck up and leave.
yeah.
Sonic Frontiers wasn't like, here's 90 hours of nothing. Sonic Frontiers was like, here's 30 hours of nothing.
I'm kind of glad we
There was more
waited.
nothing in Sonic Frontiers than there was nothing in Breath of the Wild.
I'm
I
kind
go
of
fast in Sonic Frontiers.
It's
Yeah,
open.
once you figured out how to actually
It's
do
open
it,
zone gameplay. You can't go there.
you're like, I'm gonna
Hey, you
use
can't go there yet.
I'm gonna use the regular control. I'm gonna use the special controls for this game, and then it's like, why can't I go very fast?
Yeah, you also like... No, there's a barrier there. You're going the wrong way, turn around.
No, it was fine.
I was gonna give this game a 9.
And then
When
you
I
heard
finished
my
it-
rousing argument to give it an 8.
No, but that was when I beat it, and then now I think like that. You know when you have like that honeymoon phase with a game,
Yeah.
and like you really love it, you think it's the greatest thing you ever played. That's kind of worn off a little bit. I think I am also going to just give this game an 8. I do think it's like, 'cause I probably would also give Breath of the Wild a 7. This game I'm going to give an 8. I think that's fair. This is also pre-DLC. So, like, it could get better, but as of right now, I think 8's very fair for this game. I think it's way better than Breath of the Wild.
Are you like trying to run from somebody? You keep saying I think it's a very fair score. Please don't come after me.
There's actually a gun in my head right now.
It's from me.
Nobody in this room has it.
It's from all the Tears of the Kingdom fans that, like, have only played Breath of the Wild and Tears of the
You
Kingdom.
seem very scared right
Hey,
now.
look,
You're
it's-
like,
They haven't
almost
played
me.
good. They haven't played, like, the actual
don't worry,
best Zelda
don't worry,
games.
I'll defend you.
You think the best Zelda game is Twilight Princess?
No, the best
No, he
one is
doesn't.
Zelda 2.
I actually think the best Zelda game is Majora's Mask. I don't think it's Twilight Princess. What do you think is the best
So
Zelda
it
game,
doesn't
Josh?
matter what he thinks. He's
Wind
just a
Waker.
guest here.
I think that's the 4th best Zelda game.
I like everything about Majora's Mask except for the idea of playing it.
Tell him that he wasn't on the.
That's how I feel about Skyward Sword.
Because Majora's Mask, I'm like, man, this is a really cool theatrical game, but I'm gonna be very frustrated playing it.
All right.
All right, so it's a
Peanut Gallery. Give me numbers.
I give it a 7. I would give it an 8, but they took away the duplication glitch. So it's you lose points when you start fucking with people. So
It was never supposed to be there to begin with.
It was in the game.
it was in the game,
Was a feature.
Pretty sure Tingle said something about it.
and the fact that they got rid of all the duplication glitches.
You're right. 8.5 out of 10. The Tingle Island still don't do anything. 8.5.
No, there's a chasm on Tingle Island now.
8.5 out of 10.
There's also a shrine there.
There's not a shrine on Tingle Island.
Oh, it's like right on the edge of it.
Yep, nope, 8.5 out of 10. Still nothing on these fucking islands.
There's probably a few Korok seeds.
Okay, give me your number so we can get out of here.
A 5? Holy shit!
Wow. I would probably give it a 9. It's got problems, but like I think my biggest issue is that the combat's the exact same. They did not add anything. And and that's the thing where it's like, I don't think DLC is going to add anything to my points for this because it didn't add anything. If anything, the DLC kind of took away points from Breath of the Wild when they're like, have a hard mode. It's bad.
If they do add a hard mode, I hope it's better.
I want to hope it's better, but at the same time, I hope it's the same so I can hate myself all over again.
So what is that at? 16 out of 10? 20?
16 out of 20 with the additional 25 points that mean nothing.
What does 16 out of 20 narrow down to?
It comes down to 5th.
It's my 5th favorite Zelda game, so.
It's
Where does
probably
Zelda
my
2
favorite.
rank on though?
Zelda 2 got an 8 out of 20.
Oh yeah, you gotta tell Josh our list.
Oh, do I?
Yeah.
You can't just watch the 90 fucking episodes?
I'm not gonna do that. What's
I was
your
going to
list?
say, that's a lot of content.
Okay, so Zelda's Adventure is at the bottom with a 3 out of 20.
How did it get 3?
I think one of us gave it 1 point, and somebody's like, oh, I like the memes. 2 points. Triforce Heroes is the next one at 6. Crossbow, that's the cost for training. CDI games. Zelda 2 at 8.
You guys never played the CDI games.
We saw them. We saw the cutscenes.
You saw the memes?
Tingle also got an 8. And that was just Tingle as a concept, I think.
What?
You know, it's funny that you say that we didn't play the CDI games because I think he didn't finish Tingle's Rosy Rupee Land.
No, I didn't.
And I never played it, so we just talked about Tingle. It was a Tingle
How did Tingle go and get an 8?
appreciation.
That's a 10 out of 10 character.
So Four Swords and Phantom Hourglass were both at 10. Cadence of Hyrule, whatever, Minish Cap, Four Swords Adventure, Zelda 1, Age of Calamity, Link's Awakening all got 12. Breath of the Wild got a 13 along with Oracles. Link to the Past was 14 along with Spirit Tracks and Spirit Tracks was also 14. Skyward Sword was 15 with Twilight Princess, Link Between Worlds. Then finally we're adding Tears of the Kingdom at 16. Majora's Mask, Wind Waker, and Hyrule Warriors all got 17, and Ocarina of Time got an 18.
It was another episode, so those are my points right there. For Majora's Mask.
I was sick.
Good work, Aaron.
But yeah, so that was our list. And we really had to fight for what was going at the bottom, I think. You know, I think Wind Waker and Hyrule Warriors also had 18s. So I remember we had a long discussion about which
first Hyrule Warriors?
Definitive Edition.
Definitive Edition.
Oh, okay.
That's actually a good game.
I
think it's dethroned as my favorite Switch game. I think that's now Tears of the Kingdom. Sorry, Jacob.
I don't care. I don't care what your favorite Switch game
more of an
is.
Age of Calamity guy.
Ew.
Okay,
Why?
before you guys start trading blows, we're leaving. Goodbye!
Goodbye.